Entering the 8th season under head coach Brett Walk, the Mountain View Buffaloes boast 2 titles and 4 trips to the state championship over the past 7 years, including 2 consecutive title appearances in 2017 and 2018. 2019 sees many of last year's core back. And make no mistake, this year's Buffs have only one thing in mind.
Well, I came to my
Mountain View football is live for another season on mylocalradio.com. Join us as we take you inside the huddle and across the state as the Bridger Valley's exclusive video broadcast partner. From Mountain View and Lyman to Pinedale, Graybull, and beyond, mylocalradio.com has you covered. With the opening kickoff rapidly approaching, let's head to the booth and join the voice of the Mountain View Buffaloes, Jake Hibbard.
And welcome to where we've been headed all along, Jonah Field at War Memorial Stadium for the 2A State Championship. Mountain View and Buffalo, 1 week at a time, 1 play at a time. That's what coaches Rob Hammond and Brent Walk have been preaching all year long, but let's be real. At least part of that has been coach speak. The title rematch has been on everyone's mind all year long. For Mountain View, this is their 3rd straight trip to the War. 7 turnovers last year spoiled Mountain View's chance at back-to-back. Now, the Buffs come back to Laramie trying to do the same to the Bison of Johnson County. Jake Hibbard joining you on a warm day at War Memorial Stadium. It's the 2A state title. Buffalo, Mountain View, next. For nearly 45 years, Yeager's Auto Body in Green River has been among the most trusted businesses in southwest Wyoming and beyond. There's a reason why the biggest auto dealers in the area trust their vehicles to Yeager's Auto Body. Owner Justin Yeager and his staff are experts in their field and will deliver on your vehicle's needs. So the next time your car is in need of repair, go see the best at Yeager's Auto Body in Green River at 360 West Flaming Gorge Way, or give them a call at 307-875-2448. Yeager's Auto Body in Green River, proud sponsors of Mountain View and Lyman High School sports.
Welcome into the Yeager's Auto Body pregame show. For nearly 45 years, Yeager's Auto Body in Green River has been among the most trusted shops in all of southwest Wyoming and beyond. 360 West Flaming Gorge Way in Green River, the place to go, or 307-875-2448, the number to call if you've got a car in need of some repair. Yeager's Auto Body, the top of the game in auto repair. When we come back, we'll take our first look at 2 teams at the very top of their game. It's the 2A state championship of Buffalo and Mountain View. And throughout this Yeager's Auto Body pregame show, we'll be taking a closer look at both of these programs in a rematch from the 2018 state championship. For Mountain View, it's their 3rd straight state title appearance, looking to get their 2nd and secure a dynasty for this senior class. This is a First Bank presentation of Mountain View football, live and online at mylocalradio.com and on the airwaves at KNY at 99.1 FM.
As one of the region's most visited websites, mylocalradio.com is here to serve you. Catch up on local and regional news and information. Buy, sell, or trade your good used items on the radio classifieds. Stream your favorite music all day, every day, or catch our live coverage of your high school teams in action, all on mylocalradio.com. Like us on Facebook so you never miss a giveaway, and visit mylocalradio.com today to stream it all live.
Welcome back into the Yeager's Auto Body pregame show, Southwest Wyoming's most trusted in auto body repair. Today we're here at War Memorial Stadium in Laramie, Wyoming for the 2A state championship. And Mountain View and Buffalo are 2 teams who were here just over a year ago, battling it out for the same prize at the end of the 2018 season. For Buffalo, they're winners of 20 straight, with their last loss coming on August 31st of last year. That was when the Bison fell to 3A Douglas in Week 1 of the 2018 season. But they've gone 7-0 after that. They went 7-0 the rest of the way through that regular season, ran through the playoffs, and have not looked back since. A state title, and now a chance for one more, makes the Bison quite the successful tourist of the 2A classification. Buffalo dropped down to 2A in 2018, and this will be their last contest in the foreseeable future in 2A, as they'll take Torrington's place next year at the 3A classification. The drop down to 2A has also coincided with one of the finest groups of athletes to walk the halls of BHS in some time. 8 Bison were named to All-State in their 2018 championship run, including 5 who returned for this season. That list is headlined by running back Rowan Ruby, receiver Dawson Hatch, linebacker Hiram Hatch, and lineman Nathan Swanston and Hunter Pope. Together, and with their new starting quarterback, Mason Moon, who took the place of Wyoming football redshirt Luke Glassick, this Bison program has rolled through their schedule without a blemish. However, there were a couple of scares along the way. Back in week 1, the mighty Buffalo offense jumped out to a big lead over Douglas. However, Douglas was able to crawl back into it and pull to within 3 points by the end of the game before Buffalo ultimately came away with the win. And then, of course, there was last week in the semifinals where Thermopolis forced back-to-back turnover on downs and scored on both of the ensuing drives to take a 14-0 lead. As we will hear a little bit later from Buffalo head coach Rob Hammond, his team's experience and confidence allowed them to overcome that early deficit and go on to win 45-22. For Mountain View, they come into today as winners of 10 straight, and with a chance for an 11th here that would avenge a state title defeat and perhaps to cement the term dynasty alongside the name of this Bridger Valley product. Like Buffalo, Mountain View returned 5 All-Staters from 2018 in Brecken Barnes, Hunter Gross, Braden Walk, Kimball Madsen, and Brigham Blumel. Unlike Buffalo, there have been no close games on their schedule. The biggest challenges for Mountain View were Week 4 versus Thermopolis and last week in the semifinals against Burns. Those contests ended by finals of 35-0 and 56-12, respectively. The Mountain View offense is on a historic pace, and we'll get into more of that later, but not to be lost among all of the scoring is just how well the Buffs have held on to the football this year. Right here in Laramie a season ago, Mountain View coughed up the Rocks 7 times to Buffalo along their way to that 43-18 loss. Buffs head coach Brent Walk has had a motto all season long: Mountain View won't beat Mountain View. This varsity unit has responded up to this point and has given up just 3 turnovers all season long. Now, there's been a couple of more coming in JV once the game's already decided a running clock going, but the varsity team, special teams offense on the field, just 3 turnovers on the season. That was 1 in week 1, an interception, 1 in week 4 versus Thermopolis, a fumbled punt return, and 1 in the semifinals against Burns, a first-half interception. It was an emotional moment last Friday at Clarence B. Lammers Field when Mountain View took a knee on offense in the fourth quarter to allow their varsity to walk off the field among a standing ovation from the home crowd. Many of those same fans who have made this trip today in hopes that they can see a second title in 3 years from this bunch and a third in the Brent Walk tenure. Although the matchup of Buffalo and Mountain View is the same from last year, the X's and O's have changed a bit. Kimball Madsen and Braden Walk were dueling quarterbacks as sophomores and juniors, but Walk has taken over sole quarterbacking duties, and now Madsen's the full-time halfback. Brigham Blumel was an 1,100-yard rusher as a junior, and he still sees some time in split backfields, but for the most part, he's moved to being the primary receiving option. And to be honest, it's been hard to argue with the results, as this version of the Buffs looks like the strongest of them all. Walk has thrown for 19 touchdowns and run for 19 more. Blumel has been his go-to man with 500 yards receiving and 7 scores. And Madsen, he's been unstoppable as a rusher with 19 touchdowns and close to a 9-yard per carry average. And it also doesn't hurt to have the returning 2A lineman of the year in Hunter Gross anchoring that offensive line on the left side, along with Brecken Barnes, Bridger Harris, and Hunter Meeks. There hasn't been any sort of the same wholesale shuffle for Buffalo like there was for Mountain View from last year to this. They've had some players go in, some players go out, but the big players return in the same positions they did a year ago. Rowan Ruby, a senior, enters today as the second leading rusher in 2A with 1,700 yards and 18 touchdowns. Dawson Hatch is a dual threat as a receiver with 26 catches for 550 yards, and he's also been a running option / change of pace quarterback where he's picked up another 582 yards and 8 touchdowns. And just like Mountain View, Buffalo returns 2 All-Staters on the offensive line in Swanston and Pope. The running attack for Buffalo is second only to Mountain View, but today's game might well end up resting on the arm of senior quarterback Mason Moon. Last week, Mountain View's defense shut down the top rusher in 2A in Bo Clayson of Burns, and it remains to be seen if any running attack can handle the strength, speed, and defensive smarts and IQ of the Buffs. Buffalo may have to try to stretch the field today with Moon and Hatch. Mason threw for 22 touchdowns to just 4 interceptions on the year, And if he can make some connections early, then perhaps that will open up some space for Ruby. For Mountain View, nobody's come close to stopping the option run attack of Walk and Madsen, so it'd be surprising to see them come out and do anything differently today. However, you cannot forget about the touch of Walk and the end-to-end speed of the Mountain View receivers in Blue Mel and Ashton Schofield, so don't be surprised if they break open a couple of big plays that way as well. It's the 2A state championship live from War Memorial Stadium, Mountain View versus Buffalo on a First Bank presentation of MyLocalRadio.com. Back with more pregame coverage after this.
When do you schedule doctor appointments?
In bed before I fall asleep.
In the car waiting to pick up my kids.
We can even do it after breakfast.
We all lead busy lives. Online appointment scheduling puts you in control. In just 90 seconds, you can make an appointment with a primary care provider or specialist at evanstonanytime.com. Select the day and time most convenient for you. Enter some basic information, and just like that, you're scheduled for care. Schedule appointments for next day and beyond at evanstonanytime.com.
The Wyoming Prep Podcast on the radio is back for another year with a bit of a twist. Join me, Jake Hibbard, as I transition from covering Evanston and becoming the voice of the Mountain View Buffs and Laramie Eagles. I'll be live every Wednesday at 10:30 a.m. with news, analysis, and guests as we focus on the Bridger Valley and beyond. We'll cover the happenings around the area and across the state landscape. We would also like to welcome onto the show as a regular this year, Dennis Lynch of Auto Farm Chevrolet. Join us every Wednesday on KNYN 99.1 FM in the Evanston listening area for the Wyoming Prep Podcast on the radio. If you can't catch it then, don't worry. We'll post all the episodes up to mylocalradio.com, or you can also find it by searching and subscribing to the Wyoming Prep Podcast on iTunes or Google Play. The Wyoming Prep Podcast on the radio, presented by Auto Farm Chevrolet, every Wednesday, August through March on KNYN 99.1 FM in Evanston, or online anytime at mylocalradio.com, or of course at the Wyoming Prep Podcast on wherever you get your podcasts. The Wyoming Prep Podcast on the radio. Come join in on the fun. Welcome back into the Yeager's Auto Body pregame show here at War Memorial Stadium in Laramie, Wyoming on November 15th. It's state title time. The 2A state championship coming up at the top of the hour. Buffalo versus Mountain View. Well, throughout this season, I've been checking in with Patrick Schmidt. He's the proprietor of WyomingFootball.com, an excellent historical website for the state of Wyoming that is maintained solely by Patrick Schmidt. He also continues to watch football across the state, including both these teams in competition today in Buffalo and Mountain View. So when we come back here on the Yeager's Auto Body pregame show, we'll have an extended sit-down with Patrick Schmidt talking about the game at hand today and what's at stake for historical ramifications moving forward. This is a First Bank presentation of Mountain View football on mylocalradio.com and KNYN 99.1 FM.
In Rich County, we know that our children are our future. Helping our kids grow into kind, productive adults is a community effort. This is Rolene Kennedy, Auto Farm Chevrolet's Rich County representative, serving my neighbors for more than 20 years. My kids are Rich High School graduates. When you need a vehicle, come and see me, new or pre-owned. I'll always treat you with respect and honesty, the Rich County way. Auto Farm Chevrolet, we're a community-driven dealer. Go Rebels!
Patrick Schmidt of WyomingFootball.com joins me. Patrick, thanks for taking the time to take a look at 2A football, the rematch, the championship of a year ago, Buffalo versus Mountain View. I appreciate you taking some time out with me.
You bet. Thanks for having me.
So we've been talking about this contest going back to the beginning of the year on my program when I've had you on, Mountain View versus Buffalo. When we first looked at 2A football, it was pretty obvious that these were the two teams at the top. That being said, it was a long and a tough trip for these teams to get there, but they did what we all expected and made it to this championship match. Now that we have the game that the season has been leading to all along, what do you think about it? What are your thoughts from the beginning of the season to now? Have they changed at all, or we sit and stay pat where you were at the beginning of the year?
At the beginning of the year, I really thought that this was going to be the game we were going to see in the champ. Like you said, this is the two best teams, and it's no surprise to see them here. What's been really, really surprising to me is just how dominant Mountain View has been. I mean, I knew they were going to be good. I didn't realize they were going to be as good as they have been all season long. And you get the feeling that it could have been worse. You get the feeling that it could have been much, much more, the scores could have been much higher. But fortunately for the other teams, they took it easy, and they haven't been taking it easy in the playoffs, and that's shown. And I think they're really, really primed. And that should have Buffalo, kind of not scared, but, I think there's going to be a lot more respect this time around because of what Mountain View's been able to do in the regular season.
Now, as I've been following it, I think going back to about week 6 when I noticed that this season was on a historic pace, really of any team, any classification. Mountain View's scores have just climbed and climbed and climbed on the average per game, and that even includes last week's 56-12 victory, which puts them on pace just barely ahead of Bighorn with one game to go to be the highest scoring per game team of all time for the state of Wyoming. Now, they've got by far their best opponent in Buffalo this week, but one way or another, they break the 2A scoring record a week ago, getting the most points previously held by Lyman, and now they're about 20 points away from finishing second all-time ahead of 4A schools that played in one more contest because 4A plays in 0 week. And I realized about halfway through the season, maybe 2/3 of the way, that I was witnessing, I think, one of the greatest, if not the greatest, offense that has ever come through the history of Wyoming. Now, of course, the caveat being how this game goes will forever mold our impression of what's happened up to this point on this season. Where have you estimated this Mountain View offense to be in the all-time rankings? Because it has gotten to that point where we have to have that conversation.
And when we look back, it really, I think it all turns on really the playoff run that they've had. And like I mentioned, they could have made it worse on some other teams, but they have really taken it to another level in the playoffs. And I think when we look back on it, you're going to be able to say that this was one of the better, if not the best, 2A offenses of all time, because the guys who are the big playmakers this year have been the playmakers for 3 years. Mm-hmm. They have been in the spotlight. They know how to handle the spotlight. They know how to handle the big games. And I don't think it's any surprise to see them put together a really, really solid season and a historic season and maybe a record-breaking one by the time it's all said and done. I don't think it's surprising at all, but I do think that when we look back, you're absolutely right. 10 games is great, but that 11th one is the one you really want to win.
And Buffalo brings in a speed rushing attack led by Rowan Ruby. Mason Moon's taken over the passing duties at quarterback. We see Dawson Hatch doing a lot of running if he does get in at quarterback, but he's an outstanding receiver and runner as well. And so you've got athletes on the offense and defensive line, and then those skill position players that we just mentioned. And I can see a lot of reasons that Buffalo can give Mountain View that trouble. Number one, I think, though, is how does Mountain View take care of the ball? Because if we take out 3 of those turnovers last year, this contest may be different than the blowout that we ended up seeing, I think.
Well, and I think Buffalo, it's always dangerous to do this, but I like to do it anyway, and that's compare scores, right? Compare scores to common opponents, and consistently Mountain View's been a step ahead of Buffalo. Now, that said, Buffalo, I think they're opportunistic. I think they take advantage of opponents' mistakes, and I think they're undefeated too. And I think when they look at this game, they're going to be able to say, hey, I think we match up and I think they do. And I think one of the key differences between last year's team and this year's team, when you look at Buffalo, is one of their linemen, Anthony Graves, who missed basically all of last year with an injury and came back for his senior year. And I remember talking to Coach Hammond up in Buffalo before the season started, and he said, look, Anthony Graves might be our best player, and we didn't have him last year and still won the championship. And now that he's back, he may be kind of that X factor that maybe Mountain View isn't expecting because they didn't see him last year.
Yeah, and I think that as great as Mountain View's offense has been, and their defense has as well, and I think particularly their defense was put on display last week in that shutdown victory against a fine Burns running attack. You do have to be cautious if you're a Mountain View fan because they're taking on the defending state champions, and there's something to be said for that. And I think both of these teams have been battling the same issue all year long, in that they've really been, while they can't say it and while they can't actually, I guess, officially do it, you can't be playing for the end of the season, they've had to almost battle against each other because the teams in front of them have not been on the same level as they knew they would be facing in the state championship, which we have now, a Buffalo versus Mountain View. These two teams have been on another level of all of their opponents this season.
And that's one of the challenges that I think the coaches had too, was how do you get these kids ready for a state championship game when time after time after time, you're up big at halftime, you don't want to risk injury in the second half. And I think Mountain View, to their credit, has done really, really well in the playoffs and gone to another level, but they really haven't had to play a full game yet. And I think that might be where Buffalo comes in with a bit more of an advantage, is that Buffalo has had to play a couple tough games in the playoffs and has had to survive in advance as opposed to blowing out. And then if the game gets tight, then Mountain View might get tight. Now, I don't necessarily see that happening. I think Mountain View is a very well-coached team and very well-disciplined team. But you can't help but look at those things and try and just figure out where one team might have an edge over another, and that's where Buffalo has the edge over Mountain View. They've been a little bit more tested in the playoffs. Yeah,
and they go down 14-0 to Thermopolis, and talking to their coach, he came back. Coach Hammond said, when I saw that second touchdown go in, I told our players they're running out, they're pulling out all stops right now, and they're running out of options right now, so you guys go play your game, and you'll win this. That's what they did. I think Mountain View was tested in a way, being up just 21-6 against Burns in the semifinals. It just so happened in the third quarter they were able to come out, and the varsity was actually able to play. And they did not look like they were a team that was under condition. They looked like a team that was excited to have a second half to play. Look, Patrick, got Patrick Schmidt of WyomingFootball.com with me. I am going to stay away from predictions. I'm calling the game. Do you want to give one for this contest for the listeners out there, or do you want to stay away from that as well?
Oh, no, I love predictions.
Yeah, here we go. Here we go.
I think Mountain View wins. I think this is their turn. I think it's their time. I think they're the better team, and they've got a great opportunity to really cement their legacy. And I think Mountain View wins this. It'll probably be close. It'll probably be within a possession or two. But I do think it is Mountain View. They're going to go back to Una County with that trophy.
That's Patrick Schmidt of WyomingFootball.com for our final look around the valley for the 2019 fall season. Patrick, thank you for joining me on my show and throughout the year and on this final state championship pregame here.
Awesome. Thanks again for having me.
Always appreciate Patrick Schmidt of WyomingFootball.com taking the time to sit down with me and have conversations about football around this state. This is the final week to do so, as all the culminating games are happening right here at War Memorial Stadium over the next 2 days, and after that we'll have our 5 state champions. We'll have our state champion at the 2A level in a couple of hours from now. It's either going to be the Buffalo Bison or the Mountain View Buffaloes. It's the battle of the Buffalo moniker, I suppose, as that's also the state symbol of this equality state. Now let's take a moment to review the all-time series between Buffalo and Mountain View and the history of both programs' appearances in the state title. Mountain View and Buffalo have played each other a few times throughout the years, however, never in the regular season. Being a team on the east side in Buffalo and a west side team in Mountain View, you don't get too many home-and-home series between pair of programs that far away. So over the course of the years, this is their 9th matchup, again, all in the playoffs. The first time these two teams took on each other, it was the 1991 quarterfinals, where Buffalo came away victorious over Mountain View 21-8. The next time they met was a season later in the semifinals. It was October 31st, 1992, when Buffalo again got the best of Mountain View 9-8 this time to advance into the state championship. The teams wouldn't meet again until 1994, when on October 22nd, Mountain View finally got the monkey off their back and beating Buffalo 26-0. The following year, Mountain View and Buffalo would meet for the first time ever in the state championship matchup. That was at the 2A level. It was 27-0. Mountain View shut out Buffalo for that program's first state title since 1984. The following year, under head coach Mike Moon, the Buffalo Bison would get the best of Mountain View in the semifinals, 9-6, and Buffalo would go on to win a state title themselves at the 2A level. The following year, in 1997, Mountain View and Buffalo would again face each other in the semifinals, and Mountain View would win 18-0, as Mountain View, under head coach Don Donnell, would go on to win their second title in 3 seasons. The all-time series between Buffalo and Mountain View then had a long lull. In fact, 21 years passed before these two teams found each other at odds again, and that was last year in the state title when Buffalo defeated Mountain View 43-18. So now in 2019, these teams enter into their 9th ever matchup with a state title on the line and the all-time series tied at 4-4. For Mountain View, this is their 13th all-time appearance in the state championship. They've won 5 and lost 7. The first state title was won in 1984 under head coach Jim Hissong, 41-14 over Tongue River. Coach Don Donnell would take his Mountain View Buffs to 7 state titles over his tenure, winning the first 2 and then losing the ensuing 5, including 4 in a row from 1999 to 2002. The next Mountain View State Championship would not come until 2014, when Brent Walk exorcised the demons of a previous loss to Bighorn in the 2013 state title by winning 28-19 to give him his first championship as head man of the Mountain View Buffs. Walk won his second championship a couple of years ago over Glen Rock, 35-28, after the Mountain View Buffs trailed 28-14 at halftime. This group of seniors was sophomores at that time, and many of them were starting in that contest, albeit maybe at a little bit different positions, and now look to make it state title number 3 for Brent Walk in his 8th season as head coach. Buffalo made its first state title appearance all the way back in 1961, playing in the Single A classification. Coach George Grace took on Afton and lost to the Star Valley Braves 49-0 in the final game of the season. Head coach Mike Moon, whose name graces the top of the stadium in Buffalo, made his way to the first of many state championship games back in 1976, losing to Green River 23-13. The first state title for Mike Moon came against Evanston, again at the Single A classification, a 10-6 victory back in 1979. Moon would again defeat Evanston, although this time at the 3A classification level, 13-12 in a tightly contested overtime victory in the 1983 state title. Moon's final state championship appearance would come in 1996 with a 33-6 victory over Thermopolis at 2A. In all, the legendary head coach and grandfather of today's starting quarterback, Mason Moon, took the Buffalo Bison to 8 state championships, winning 3 of them. The man who would succeed Moon, Pat Lynch, had a great run of his own, appearing in 6 state championship games from the years of 2003 to 2010 at both the 4A and 3A levels. Lynch would win it all in 2004 with a 31-10 victory over Lander, and follow it up with a 17-14 victory over Star Valley in the state title game in 2005. That would be the last winning appearance for Coach Lynch, as the Buffalo Bison would wait until 2018 last season for Rob Hammond to return them to state title glory with the 43-18 victory over Mountain View. At the conclusion of today's game, we'll either have a 7th state title for Buffalo or a 6th for Mountain View. We'll come back on the Jaegers Auto Body pregame show next and move over to the coaches' side of things as we get set for kickoff to the 2A state title at the top of the hour. This is a First Bank presentation of Mountain View football, online at mylocalradio.com and on the radio at KNY and 99.1 FM.
Your mobility affects every aspect of your life. When you suffer from an injury that decreases your mobility, or maybe you're just noticing that you're having a harder time balancing and your flexibility isn't what it used to be, call Randy Christofferson at Achieve Sports Medicine. Randy will work with you to improve your overall health by reducing pain and improving mobility. Schedule your appointment today by calling 307-747-4627. Achieve Sports Medicine in Lyman. No excuses, just results.
Sure, I look cute now, but when my owner lost his job, it was rough. I was living on the street, and one night, me and this Cocker Spaniel got into it so bad, I wound up looking like an ice cream cone. I cried a little bit, but thankfully I got rescued, so I'm running, I'm jumping, all back to my old self, and I'm ready to give unconditional love, even if you put a lampshade on my head.
Business cards are a powerful and inexpensive way to promote the goods and services you offer. You can design your own cards or have the professionals at Westar Printing design your business cards. Now with same-day and next-day turnaround on all business card printing, you don't have to wait. Get your business cards today. Professional quality, inexpensive prices, and quick turnaround. Visit Westar Printing, 243 7th Street in Evanston, across from the library. Westar Printing, 307-789-5202.
Sometimes getting the whole family scheduled for a dental appointment is hard. Different days, different times, and then how do you pay for it all? These problems have been solved by Black's Fork Dental in Mountain View because we serve patients of all ages. It's easy to schedule the whole family on the same day, so you just make one trip. We accept most insurances, and if you don't have insurance, we offer an in-house discount so the whole family can have a healthy smile. Don't wait. Call today. Black's Fork Dental in Mountain View, 307-782-3630.
The final weekend of football of this season finds us at War Memorial Stadium in Laramie, Wyoming, as we await kickoff for the 2A state championship, Mountain View and Buffalo. Pre-game coverage today has been brought to you by Yeager's Auto Body in Green River. Give them a call at 307-875-2448 for the best that there is in Wyoming when it comes to auto body repair. That's Yeager's Auto Body in Green River at 360 West, Flaming Gorge Way. Well, the coaches are up next on the docket here in the Yeager's Auto Body pregame show. We'll talk first with head coach Rob Hammond of the Buffalo Bison and then finish out pregame coverage with Brent Walk, 8th-year head man for the Mountain View Buffs. After that, we'll have starting lineups and the opening kickoff. It's the 2A state championship live and online at mylocalradio.com and KNYN 99.1 FM presented by First Bank.
For nearly 45 years, Yeager's Auto Body in Green River has been among the most trusted businesses in southwest Wyoming and beyond. There's a reason why the biggest auto dealers in the area trust their vehicles to Yeager's Auto Body. Owner Justin Yeager and his staff are experts in their field and will deliver on your vehicle's needs. So the next time your car is in need of repair, go see the best at Yeager's Auto Body in Green River at 360 West Flaming Gorge Way, or give them a call at 307-875-2448. Yeager's Auto Body in Green River, proud sponsors of Mountain View and Lyman High School sports.
Rob Hammond joins me for the Buffalo Bison head coach. It's been a long season full of expectations, and as you get to the state title contest, it's where a lot of us had you all along, but I imagine on the inside it wasn't that easy, and maybe at times all those expectations could have even played against trying to keep your team focused. How did you feel about that?
You know, you're exactly right. I think those expectations, well, we welcome them. We want to be expected to play in Laramie every single year. They were hard for our kids to deal with, and especially I think Mountain View probably dealt with this some as well. In the regular season, we were lining up against teams that we knew we were going to win. So our challenge during the regular season was try to keep our focus every day in practice to continue that we were getting better, because we weren't trying to win week to week. We're trying to make sure that we improved week to week so we could come down and get a win in Laramie. You know, and in the playoffs, we had a couple teams who had gotten a lot better this year, and you know, gave us some good games. Level played us tough, and then Thermop jumped out to a 14-0 lead. You know, and so the playoffs were exciting, and I think they were good for our kids, because I know that there's no way we can come down and blow out a Mountain View team. They're just too good. So those playoff games kind of I think it made us a little more battle tested, kind of give us some focus and gave us some experience to draw on when we have a tight game this Friday.
Thermopolis was able to get a couple of turnover on downs back-to-back to start the contest, and then was able to drive down the field both times to get those 2 touchdowns. At what point did you start to see things switch around your team's way?
We just had to get a stop. Both of those 4th down conversions, you're right. One of them, our center just snapped the ball on the wrong count, so only half the team went on the early count. And then the other one, our receivers heard the wrong play call in the huddle, so that might have had to do with some nerves. But Thermop on their second score, they had already gone to a double reverse pass down the sideline. And I kind of knew right then. Of course, they scored, but I kind of told our kids, they're pulling all the stops out early, and they're kind of running out of plays. So I knew they were going to be okay. We do a lot of leadership and book study stuff on our team, and we talk about situations like this. And we were down 14-0, and I went to our captains, and I had a quick meeting, and they looked at me, and they're like, "Coach, we prepared for this," and they talked about confidence and composure and character. And right then, I kind of knew that we were going to be okay. We took some punches, we weathered the storm, and then we started executing. So, really it was a kid's attitude, and then just able to deal with adversity and keeping calm and just staying the course.
This matchup this time around with Mountain View is very different than the last, just because they have they have the same players but playing in so many different ways. What do you see about the matchup that's a little bit different for you, or that you're prepping for this week?
I like what they've done, especially on offense. I think having number 2 walk back there as a quarterback makes them a little more dynamic. They just, this year Mountain View can threaten you vertical, horizontal, and up the middle, and it's a nightmare to prepare for, especially when you have quality kids at all those positions. So, we're just going to have to come out, and number 1, we have to make sure that we line up right versus Mountain View's formations, because Coach is doing a good job of seeing what the defense is trying to take away and countering to that. So, so we're going to have to make sure we get lined up, and then I still think no matter what, in any football game we go into, we're going to have to stop the run. So we're going to have to worry about the ISO package that Mountain View runs. We're worried about stopping the option, and then some counter looks as well. But we have to be sound up front. We have to win battles up front, and try to slow down the run game, and then and make Mountain View pass the ball. And that's saying something else. They've got a great vertical passing game, but I think both of us probably want to come out and establish the run. So I think whoever can take away the run is going to have the upper hand on the defensive side of the ball.
The first 6 years of you coaching, you were in search of that first playoff victory, and now it's back-to-back trips to War Memorial Stadium for a state championship. After that long journey of trying to find success, what's it mean to get back for a second consecutive year?
I think it's just, everything's a lesson learned for a person in life. And I think this is just a good lesson to stay the course. I knew that, I knew going into it, we were going to have some rough years. You could just kind of see the writing on the wall with the lack of talent. And then just starting a new program, you're going to have some, you're going to have some adversity no matter what. But it was just nice to know that, we had a plan, we had a belief in how we wanted to play football. And then we knew if we just stuck with it, it would hopefully turn out. And, sure enough, it did. So it's just kind of, I don't know. I think it's just a lesson in faith and trust in all those cliches that we use as coaches, but are true, trust in the process. I think we knew that we could get there, and we did. So, it feels good, and also gives you hope going forward. I know moving next year up to 3A, losing a lot of talent, we're going to have a lot of challenges ahead next year. But, it's like we've done it before. We can do it again.
That's Coach Rob Hammond for the Buffalo Bison. Thank you very much.
You bet. Thanks.
Well, as Rob Hammond alluded to, this is the final game in 2A for Buffalo in the foreseeable future. They have been classificationed up. They've been called up to the 3A level starting in the 2020 fall season. A quick 2 years and out, as Buffalo was a member of 3A class just 2 years ago before jumping in 2018 and winning the state title. Not a bad run for them, as at the very least they'll have 2 state championship appearances and at least 1 title, with a chance for 1 more in today's game. We'll take a break, come back on the Jaegers Auto Body pregame show with Brent Walk on a First Bank presentation of Mountain View Football on MyLocalRadio.com and KNY and 99.1 FM. With MyLocalRadio.com, you get to stay up to date with Lyman and Mountain View sports by watching all of the games live in the convenience of your own home. Now you get to keep up with your coaches, athletes, and teachers throughout the week with the Bridger Valley Coaches Corner. Weekdays during the school year, the Bridger Valley Coaches Corner will run on KNYN 99.1 FM at 3 p.m. and keep you up to date with the most interesting storylines from Lyman and Mountain View in football, volleyball, basketball, swimming, running, golf, and more. We'll also check in with different students and teachers from the two schools throughout the year. 3 p.m. Monday through Friday on KNYN 99.1 FM is the Bridger Valley Coaches Show presented by MyLocalRadio.com. Stay connected.
It's important to feel like you belong. At Trona Valley Federal Credit Union, we understand the value of connection. When you become a member, you join our family. You become an owner of a not-for-profit financial organization, and your success becomes our success. We give back to our members by offering lower loan rates, fewer fees, higher yields, and more products and services. Become a member of Trona Valley Federal Credit Union today, and let's work together to reach your financial goals. We're a caring partner here for you. Member NCUA.
If you love them enough to relearn math so you can teach them math, then surely you'll check nhtsa.gov/the-right-seat to make sure they're correctly buckled in the back seat.
When you have any mechanical problems, always think of Reese Auto Service in Lyman first. Doug and the mechanics at Reese Auto Service work on everything from your lawnmower and snowblower to cars, trucks, farm and ranch equipment, and semis. You can also get tires for anything you need at Reese Auto Service. Always visit Reese first. You'll get great pricing and quality-friendly service. Reese Auto Service, 541 Highway 413, Lyman.
Here live at War Memorial Stadium in Laramie, Wyoming, as the morning minutes are ticking away. Kickoff at the top of the hour. We'll close out the Jaegers Auto Body pregame show next with Brent Walk, head coach of the Mountain View Buffs, looking for his third state championship in 8 years as head coach. This is a First Bank presentation of Mountain View football on MyLocalRadio.com.
The best place to stay when you're in Casper, Wyoming is the Come On In Hotel and Suites. This beautiful log hotel offers 5 hot tubs, 1 pool, a fitness center, and fabulous indoor atrium. Offering jacuzzi and fireplace suites, the guest rooms are comfortable and relaxing. Plus, every stay includes a delicious extended continental breakfast. Whenever you're in Casper, stay at the best place. Come On In Hotel and Suites. Come on in today. Come On In Hotel and Suites, Casper.
Brent Walk joins me one more week. This is perfect. This is right according to plan so far, isn't it?
Yeah, you know, Jake, we're exactly where number one, where we wanted to be, and number two, where we believed we'd be. So, yeah, this is absolutely perfect scenario. You know, we're very, very happy to be playing in the state championship once again, but, you know, we're certainly not satisfied.
This is a third straight trip to the state championship. 2017 was a win. 2018 was a disappointing loss, and that's really been a starting point all year long. You talk about Mountain View not beating Mountain View, trying to play mistake-free football, and it really goes back to what happened in that last state championship game. I think we had our second offensive turnover of the season, third of the varsity all year. I should say I'm talking about varsity turnovers in that semifinal game. So at the end of the year, 3 turnovers through the varsity, not bad at all. And a tough Burns competition. What did you think when you were out there taking on Burns that first half before things broke open in the third?
Yeah, well, you know, first of all, going into the game, we knew Burns, we knew that they were a quality team. They had some very good players. They were big up front. Their running back, you know, is a very good football player. Their Q is a great athlete. So we knew that they were coming in and you know, we were going to have to play football. But, you know, Jake, I appreciate you saying that, because going back to it, you know, we've said this from the very beginning. If a team's going to beat us, they're going to have to be a good team, and they're going to have to play good, you know, and consistently throughout the year, our guys have taken care of the football. We're not beating our mistakes. We're not beating ourselves, but, by no mistake, don't think it was a mistake-free game, because, we did make some mistakes, and we went to work on that, you know, first thing Monday morning in our meeting, and what we're looking for, man, is at 12 o'clock on Friday, man, we're playing absolutely the best football we played all year long, which, you know, I told the guys that, you know, we've been playing good football, and this is I'll be honest with you, this is the best football I've ever coached, you know, going into 10 weeks, but ultimately, it's got to all take place on Friday.
You knew you were going to have to shut down the side-to-sides with Clayson running on a pitch, left pitch, right. Opening drive of the game, I had about -6, -7 yards with that defensive line and linebackers really shutting everything down. I thought that throughout the contest, that defensive line and linebacker set really set the tone for not letting Burns get anything and kind of wearing him down as the game progressed.
Yeah, I agree with you. And the kid, and again, he's a very good football player. He got a long run on us, and honestly, we lost our gap integrity, and we had guys on him that just didn't make the tackles. So, yeah, I agree with you 100%. Our front six is playing great, and then you put those two, our strong safety, weak safety, and our strong safety and weak safety both did a great job setting the edge, and we knew we had to keep. That's what our defense does. Our goal is to keep the offense in front of them and then be very, very physical. And our kids are very physical.
I was going back and watching this weekend a little bit of that last year's 2A state championship game, not to look at the mistakes and all of that, but to more so look at how much this team has evolved with the same players on the field and how different everything on the field looks. We've had Braden at quarterback throughout the year, Kimball at running back. We had an 1,100-yard rusher a year ago who's now a receiver. Mm-hmm. And it's just kind of interesting to see how, as they've gone in 3-4-year starters for some of them, how they've evolved even in that time of, changing and progressing throughout that. How have you felt about this senior year iteration of basically the same crew?
Yeah, it's been I think I told you this last week. It's been a steady progress for these kids since they were third graders. And then as they got in high school, man, they were just, we knew that they were we knew they were very talented in the third grade, but they've just steadily worked and worked and worked. And, and to be honest with you, this is the best they've ever been. The guys are extremely unselfish. All they want to do, they're very, very close, and all they want to do is they want to win. And it's a very, very cool thing. So, yeah, obviously I'm very, very happy with the way all of these kids have performed.
I think it's no question that a lot of kids on your team, probably you guys as well, all the coaches on your staff, wanted to get another shot at Buffalo just because that's how the game ended, or that's how the season ended last year. But when you go into this game, I would imagine you may not have to tell them, because you always tell me how mature these guys are, but you have to play smart. You can't play seeking revenge.
Yeah, we're going to compete for a state championship, and what is really unique, these kids, a lot of kids never have an opportunity to play in a state championship, and this is 3 in a row for these kids. So they know what it takes to, they know what it takes to win a state championship, and they know what it would take to lose a state championship. So again, our focal point is going to be what Mountain View does, and we're going there, to play Mountain View football, and I'll go right back to it. If Buffalo, and obviously Buffalo is a very good team, they're going to have to play well. That's our goal, is make them play well, and that's how we get beat. Which obviously we're not looking to get beat.
Last question is: you get your final game of the year for a third straight year. You get to play at the War. What's that feeling like?
It's an incredible. It's words can't even describe it. It's such an incredible experience, and me being fortunate enough to have the opportunity to go 3 years in a row, 5 out of the last 7, it's incredible, and the credit goes to the kids. The kids are just absolutely amazing. They've worked for it, and I think this is a great example of when you work for something, then you hit the success, and that's why these kids are experiencing so much success, is because of their work ethic, and they're very talented.
Head coach of the Mountain View Buffs, Brent Walk, thank you very much.
I appreciate it. Thanks a lot, Jake.
Well, that's it. Thanks for joining us at the beginning of the season, way back at the beginning of September, when Mountain View shut out Cokeville 41-0. It's led us all the way here to Laramie, Wyoming, where the state championship is about to kick off. Mountain View versus Buffalo. We'll have starting lineups and that opening kick to begin the Bridger Valley Motor first quarter when we return on a First Bank presentation of Mountain View football, live and online at mylocalradio.com and KNY and 99.1 FM.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move, so I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day, I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
We know that when you think of Plains Tire in Evanston, you always think
the Tire Professionals.
Quality customer service. They're friendly with great prices.
I really like Plains Tire in Evanston.
But did you also know that the team at Plains Tire offers oil changes, windshield wiper checks, and free alignment checks? That's right, free alignment checks. We don't want you to quit thinking all those great things when you hear Plains Tire. We just want you to add to the list. Plains Tire, the tire professionals. Stop in today, 157 Bear River Drive.
The best live coverage of local sports, weather, local news, and radio classifieds, plus online streaming music, giveaways, and more. It's all on mylocalradio.com. Watch as your high school teams clash with their biggest rivals. Listen to the latest from your team's coaches. Catch up on local and regional news and stream your favorite music. Visit mylocalradio.com. Like us on Facebook and stream it all live.
For nearly 45 years, Yeager's Auto Body in Green River has been among the most trusted businesses in southwest Wyoming and beyond. There's a reason why the biggest auto dealers in the area trust their vehicles to Yeager's Auto Body. Owner Justin Yeager and his staff are experts in their field and will deliver on your vehicle's needs. So the next time your car is in need of repair, go see the best at Yeager's Auto Body in Green River at 360 West Flaming Gorge Way, or give them a call at 307-875-2448. Yeager's Auto Body in Green River, proud sponsors of Mountain View and Lyman High School sports. Do you like following your Mountain View and Lyman athletics when you can't make it to the game? Well, we love bringing it to you. Hi, I'm Jake Hibbard, voice of the Mountain View Buffaloes and Lyman Eagles, and I've been traveling around the state of Wyoming and covering high school sports for the better part of a decade. Whether it's covering a big culminating event at the Casper Event Center, calling a tightly contested Mountain View Lyman game, the greatest rivalry in this state, or kicking back and enjoying the views at one of the state's many hidden gems like the ballpark in Cowley, Wyoming, there's a few things I always see. There's officials trying their hardest, coaches sweating it out on the sidelines, and there's always a ton of support for these athletes from the entire community. MyLocalRadio.com would like to take a moment to thank all of its sponsors for making today's video coverage possible. Without all of us working together, none of this could happen. If you would like to support our future video broadcasts of Lyman and Mountain View sports, there's a few ways you can let us know. The first is, you can call our home office in Evanston, Wyoming at 307-789-8116 and let them know that you would like to know more about how you can become a sponsor of Bridger Valley Sports. The other is, you can just come up to me before or after a game and ask for more information. We've got a lot of different tiers of sponsorship and we'll find the perfect one for you. We would love for you to join the MyLocalRadio.com and Bridger Valley Sports family and help us continue to bring these games for years to come. That number again to call for the Evanston office is 307-789-8116. Or just come up and see me at one of the games and let me help you help us. And remember, go Eagles and go Buffs.
Because of you, I feel not alone in this world. And you let me know that it only takes one person to make you feel wanted.
Welcome into War Memorial Stadium for the 2A State Championship. Jake Hibbard joining you as we closed out that pregame show brought to you by Yeager's Auto Body. Get that scoreboard all correct and everything going. We will have a scoreboard today, but it's run by me. So if occasion like that where you see 3-0, the game has not started yet, that's my error. We got hot buttons on the computer. As we welcome you in, we got starting lineups here in just a moment. The coin toss happened about a half hour ago, and it was won by Buffalo. They deferred, so Mountain View will get the ball first. Referees in this contest for the 2A game, the head referee, Leroy Haskins, umpire, Bruce Mowry. Jim Hounsel is a linesman, and line judge, Jeff Ratham, and back judge is Alan Wolf. Starting lineups, because we will have Buffalo out there first at quarterback, Mason Moon, Dawson Hatch, and Calvin Rule, along with Dallas Lopez and Taylor Swanston out at wide receiver. Running back with about 1,700 yards on the season, Rowan Ruby, and Jay Skovgaard. If we see a tight end set, he'll be there. At the left tackle, Jacob Conlin, Austin Carter at left guard, center, Nathan Swanston, Morgan Tellick, right guard, Hunter Pope. at the right tackle position. For the Mountain View Buffs on the line, Hunter Gross, Brecken Barnes, Bridger Harris, and Hunter Meeks. Jimmy Medler at linebacker along with Kimball Madsen. Three safeties, Brigham Blumel, Caleb Knutson, and Ashton Schofield, and Trevor Sweeney and Braden Walk at the cornerback round out the positions. For Mountain View on the defensive side, Buffalo in white jerseys, and on the far sideline in Mountain View, black jerseys with purple pants and purple helmets with the numbers on the side of the helmet. Awaiting kickoff, we are about 4 minutes away from the start of this one, Mountain View and Buffalo. Down on the sideline right now, I'm joined by Duke Dance. We don't have to worry about any cold weather, Duke. What do you think about the weather down there today?
I tell you what, Jake, we couldn't ask for anything better for a state game. It's middle of November. Can you believe that? 40-degree weather down here on Jonah Field at the War, Mountain View Buffalo. Jake, I had the chance to catch up with head coach Brett Walk for the Mountain View Buffaloes and just asked him what his keys to the game were. And you know what he said. He says this all season long. Mountain View doesn't beat Mountain View. You remember the mistakes they had last year in this game. He said, no more of those. We're going to control the football. We want our offense on the field. When the defense is out there, we're going to keep these Buffalo running backs out in front of us. And Mountain View doesn't beat Mountain View. Back up to you.
Thank you to Duke Dance here for the sideline report. Getting set for kickoff, and I've got bad information. Buffalo will kick off. They must have won the toss and elected to receive. I thought they said defer. So Buffalo moving from right to left here in the first quarter. Give you the starters for the Mountain View offense momentarily. Back to receive, Schofield and Sweeney for Mountain View. Braden Walk leads the way at quarterback, Kimball Madsen at halfback, and Trevor Sweeney, Ashton Schofield, Caleb Knutson, Brigham Blumel, the receivers. Kickoff is underway, fielded at the 14 marker by Trevor Sweeney. Makes a cut at the 15 to the 25 and brought down at about the 30. Drive starts for Mountain View. Thank you again to Duke Dance. He'll be our sideline reporter in today's contest as Buffalo comes out in their first defensive look. Rounding out the Mountain View starters, Hunter Gross, Jimmy Medler, Bridger Harris, Brecken Barnes, and Hunter Meeks from left to right on the offensive line are your starters. For the Buffalo Bison on the defensive end side, we've got Mighty Mouse, 5'3", 150, Dallas Lopez. On the left end side, on the opposite, it's Hunter Pope, and in the middle, Morgan Tellock and Anthony Graves. Graves missed all of last season, but is told by Coach Hammond he could be the strongest player returning. First play is a handoff up the middle to Brigham Blumel for a gain of a couple. Brings up second down and 6 or 7. Blumel marked 3 yards down the field at the 33. Second down and 7. Welcome you into the Bridger Valley Motor first quarter. Call Slim or go see him if you got a check engine light at Bridger Valley Motor in Lyman, Wyoming. Single back set, trips right. Walk takes the snap. Options out right side to Madsen at the 35 to the 40. Has some space up the middle of the field to the 50, across the 50-yard line, down to the 46. First big play of the contest for Mountain View. Keys to the game, Mountain View won't beat Mountain View. We'll also give the ball to Big Kimball Madsen because no one's been able to stop him all season long. Gain of 21 on the play to bring up first down and 10 across the 50 to the 46. The Mountain View Buffs are driving early on. Single back shotgun set. 4 receivers, two wide to the right and left. Mountain View moving from left to right. Flags come up prior to the play. And an applaud from the Buffalo front line. A false start on Mountain View backs them up 5 yards. First quarter action, Buffalo versus Mountain View at the 2A state championship. Backs the ball up to the 49. 10:56 left in the Bridger Valley Motor first quarter. If you're in a pinch, looking for a tow, 307-780-3280 is Glade Erickson's cell phone number, and call him anytime, day or night, Monday through Sunday. Glade Erickson will come pick you up when you're in a pinch on Bridger Valley Motor. A timeout, it appears, taken by Mountain View. A delayed sideline trot for the Buffalo Bison, and we'll be back in 30 seconds. 10:56 on the clock here in the first quarter on the Bridger Valley Motor first quarter. No score on the Benedict's Market and True Value board here at the 2A State Championship. This is a First Bank presentation of Mountain View football.
A common thread no matter where you live in Wyoming is that if you're heading somewhere, it's probably going to be a while until you get there. A lot can go wrong on these long road trips across this great state. And if you ever find yourself broke down on the side of the road, it's time to call Glade Erickson at Bridger Valley Motor to come pick you up day or night. Bridger Valley Motor offers 24-hour towing services. If you need a tow, you need to call Glade on his cell phone at 307-780-3280. Bridger Valley Motor is here to pick you up if your lift ever lets you down. 307.
Back here at the action, option left side for Walk. He opts to finally pitch it to Madsen, but it's a delayed pitch at the 48 and in the backfield. A stuffed down on first and long. First and 15 becomes maybe 16. Hiram Hatch on the tackle for Buffalo. Ball spotted for a no gain, just a bit shy of the 50. Second down and about 15 to go here. The Bridger Valley Motor first quarter. Mountain View comes back out in a 4-receiver set. Schofield on the near side and Blumel on the far side on the line. Slot men Sweeney and Knutson. Bell tie snap. Pass completed to Madsen in the backfield. Opens it up at the 50 to the 45. Tries to stiff arm a man down at about the 45 and gets just across there. Tackled by Calvin Rule. Gets back inside the initial yard markers, but still about 6 yards shy of a first down. But a block in the back will bring it back from the spot of the foul at the 49, so never mind. Third down or second down and long upcoming at the 41. 10-11 in the Bridger Valley Motor first quarter. Remaining on the clock, no score, of course. It's the first drive for Mountain View. Captains for Mountain View, Braden Walk, Brigham Blumel, Hunter Gross, and Kimball Madsen. Another flag coming from the near sideline. Falls down at the 39. And a foul against Buffalo. Moves it back 5 yards forward to the 46. 4 yards shy of the 50. Ball spotted right about the Broncos' tail at midfield. Single back set. Madsen to the right of Walk, 4 receivers. Looking to throw to the left. Walk has Blumel on a comeback route, completed at the 34, at the 44 rather, down to about the 41. Still shy of a first down, but brings up third down and manageable, about 5 yards shy. Completion is the first of the day for Walk. Actually, pardon me, there was a completion prior to that with Madsen on the spot foul. So second completion for Walk. Third down and 5 at the 41. Need to get to the 36. Shotgun form, 3 receivers right side, 1 to the left is Blumel. Don't be surprised if they go to the underloaded side, and it is. In a slant, a post route rather to Blumel. It's incomplete. At the 25, drops out of his hands. Guarded there by Dakota Lopez, 5'8", 170-pound senior. Fourth down and 5 at the 46. Just across the 50. Kimball Madsen stepping back several steps, appearing to be in a punt formation. Now let's see. Mountain View appears to be punting on 4th and 5 on the 46. One man back to return for Buffalo. Not sure they're entirely buying it. And Madsen fakes the punt, tucks it, runs it. Doesn't have much real estate though. Stopped shy at the 39. Turnover on downs for Mountain View on the opening drive. Anthony Graves on the takedown. Madsen rolled out to his right with the Aussie-style punt. He ended up tucking and running. Needed to get to the 36, stopped about 4 yards shy. Buffalo takes over on the left hash mark. First and 10, 60 yards from pay dirt. Buffalo won this one 43-18 a year ago on their way of 7 turnovers by way of Mountain View. Moon comes out, gives it to Ruby up the middle. Big break on the first play, about 8 yards and perhaps a face mask. Looked like he was drugged down, but I don't see a flag. Up the middle, Ruby. Taken down by Blumel for a gain of about 9 on the first play. Mountain View has not given up many rushing yards on this season to anyone. And that included Bo Clayson last week of Burns. On average, they're giving up about 36 yards per game on defensive rushing yardage. Shotgun form, trips right. Moon awaiting the snap. Looks out to his right. Has a man at the middle. The 45 completed for a first down. Hit hard by Dawson Hatch on the completion, his 27th of the season. Came into the game with 4 touchdowns on receiving and 8 on the ground.
Wyatt Reese, Braden Walk makes the stop for
Braden Walk on the tackle, 45-yard line where first down and 10 for Buffalo. 2-back set in the shotgun. Hand off to Ruby, rolls out to his right side, finds some space, beats the tackle of Knutson. Out to about the 40, where he's pushed out of bounds. Good gain on first and 10. Picks up about half the yardage needed. So far, 2 yards, or 2 runs for Ruby, 13 yards in total. It's about a third of what Mountain View gives up in any given contest. Of course, this is the game we've been waiting for all year long. These two teams on the top side of the East and the West. Trips to the left. Moon pitches out to Ruby. He's in the backfield at the 45, hurdles a man, and gets a couple of yards down to the 41. Brecken Barnes on the tackle. Ruby with 3 positive gains and third down. And they give him about no yards, pardon me. Looking at that back marker. Got back to the line of scrimmage, down to 3rd and 6 at the 41. Under center. 2 receivers left side. Moon fakes, play action, has a man up the middle in Hatch, has everyone beat, and the route is thwarted and knocked down to the ground. Ashton Schofield on an underthrown ball by Moon. Hatch had him beat by a step and a half, but the throw goes a bit short and Schofield knocks it down. 4th down and 6 at the same spot where Mountain View had 4th and 6 on their first drive. Needs to get down to the 35-yard line. And Buffalo appears to be punting as well. Mountain View appeared that. High snap goes over the head of Hatch. Picks it up at the 35. Now tucking and running. Up the sideline. Has some space at the 50. Flips the field to the right side. Cuts through another man. Finally brought down at the 45 by Kimball Madsen and Bridger Harris. A turnover on downs on, as far as we know, was not a design punt fake. It was just a high snap. And a turnover on downs for Buffalo.
1st and 10 for the
Battle for the Buffalo and the state flag of the Buffalo Bison versus the Mountain View Buffs. No score here in the first quarter, brought to you by Benedict's Market. 7:29 remain in the first quarter. Mountain View takes over on their own 45. 4 receivers. Madsen to the left of the gun. Hand off to Madsen up the middle. Stop near the line of scrimmage, tries to pile drive forward. Picks up a couple to about the 47. In on the tackle there, guy we mentioned at the beginning, called Mighty Mouse, Dallas Lopez, 5'3", 150-pound senior, a defensive end.
Second down and 7 yards.
Secondary for Buffalo. I don't think we got them the first time around. Nate Swanston and Hiram Hatch, the linebackers, and then the safeties. Dawson Hatch, Calvin Rule, Mason Moon. Cornerbacks, Dakota Lopez, Rowan Ruby. Trips left, pitch out left side to Madsen from Walk. Takes the ball at the 50, finds sideline, breaks through 1 tackle to the 45, and first down gained by Madsen. Should be just enough unless the knee was down. And they do move the chains right at the 45. So far the ball's been played pretty much at the middle of the field for these two teams. Take it down to the 44. First and 10 for Mountain View. Blumel and Knutson, receivers on the left side as the play comes in from Coach Walk on the far sideline. Schofield and Sweeney, the 2 receivers on the right. Madsen, the running back, a step behind and to the right of Walk. Play blown dead. Await the call from the officials. And Mountain View's fans react as it's against Buffalo. Encroachment the call. First down and 5 coming up. Down to the 44.
Moved inside the 40. 1st and 5.
6:34 remain in quarter number 1. Walk in the gun, 4 receivers set again. 4-3 front from Buffalo. This is about to where Mountain View got on their first drive before the turnover on downs. Play being changed at the line. Walk, looks out to throw. Has Schofield wide open on the sideline. Caught at the 15 and out of bounds inside the 10. Big play for the Buffs. And we said prior to the contest, don't be surprised if Mountain View airs it out. Ball spotted at the 11 for a pickup of 33. With the speed of Schofield and Blue Mel on the line, end-to-end speed, just about nobody in the state at the 2A level can keep up with those two receivers. Inside the red zone for the first time today, Mountain View has the ball on the 11. Walk 3 for 4 with 42 yards so far. Split back set. Blue Mel, a lead blocker on a pitch out left side to Madsen. Trying to find an edge, breaks a tackle, and finally brought down inside the 5. Looked like he may have an end zone stretch. Hiram Hatch comes out of nowhere and knocks him out of bounds on the left side. Mountain View can get a first down without the touchdown or be down to about the 1 yard line where the marker is at. Ball spotted at the 5. Make it at the 4, 2nd down and 3. Split back set again. Blue Mel to the right of Walk. Madsen behind him. Walk keeps it, looking for space, spins around and brought down in the backfield at the line of scrimmage. The tackle by Hunter Pope, a returning All-Stater from a season ago, and expect him to be in that conversation and getting another one this year. The play was designed to go right side with 2 lead blockers for Madsen and Blue Mel, and perhaps even the counter for Walk, but either way, Buffalo and Pope stayed at home, and Walk had nowhere to go as he tried to spin down, brought down for a loss of 3. At the 7, it's 3rd down and 6 to go. Split back set for a 3rd time. 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Walk rolls out to the left side, pitches to Blue Mel. Stuck up at the 5, pushed down and forward to the 4 or 3. Decision time. 4th and about 1 or 2. Wait for the spot. Tianka Picola certainly has the leg to get a kick here. 4th and 2. 4th down and 2 with 5:05 left, and Mountain View doesn't want the field goal. 4 receivers set, going for it in the red zone. Walk awaiting the shotgun snap with Madsen to his right. And a timeout taken by Mountain View. They got the look from Buffalo they wanted. Now they'll take a timeout, decide what to go with. I wouldn't be surprised to see T. Picola come out here after the timeout, but we'll have to wait and see. 4:53 left in the Bridger Valley Motor first quarter, and no points on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. This is a First Bank presentation of Mountain View football at the state championship on MyLocalRadio.com and KNYN 99.1 FM.
Super kids deserve super care. Experience the difference with board-certified pediatricians Alan Brown, MD, and Bird Gilmartin, MD, at Uinta Medical Group. Whether it's tracking your child's overall health at Well Child Checks or helping your little ones feel better when they're sick, Dr. Brown and Dr. Gilmartin are here to help your child grow, learn, and thrive. Schedule an appointment with Dr. Brown or Dr. Gilmartin by calling 307-789-WELL 9355 or visit evanstonanytime.com.
Break here. Mountain View still going for it. 4 receivers, 2 to the right, 2 to the left. Direct snap to Madsen. He appears to be stopped short. The pile drives backwards. And a turnover on downs for Mountain View, for Buffalo, rather. Another stop defensively. We've had three drives, and now 3 turnover on downs. Buffalo's may have been accidental. There's a high snap forced Hatch to try to return the ball. Buffalo takes over on their own 4. .447 on the clock. First quarter brought to you by Bridger Valley Motor. No points on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. First play, a handoff from Moon to Ruby up the middle. Flag down at the 4 as he makes it to the 9.
Wedges forward to the 9-yard line. Gate is 5.
Clock stopped at 4:41 here at War Memorial Stadium in Laramie, Wyoming. Host of all the state championships. Seen a lot of flags today, and I guess maybe that's jitters of being in a state tournament, or a state championship, but Mountain View has not been a team flag much at all this year. Cannot speak to Buffalo. It appears the play blown dead is against the offense. Half the distance inside to the 3.
Move the ball back to the 2-yard line.
Make that the 2, first down and 12.
For the Bison.
Jimmy Medler playing, and he's been a defensive end. Today's a linebacker. He's been playing both positions this year at the middle along with Madsen. Loaded up box at the 2. Handoff up the middle and a big return. It's Hiram Hatch all the way from the 20 to the 25 and then down at the 27. Big play on first down and a gigantic hole developed by the middle of that Buffalo Bison line. Austin Carter and Nathan Swanston loaded up and pushed open a gigantic hole. Ball marked at the 27. First and 10. Clock continuing to resume at 4:22 and ticking down in the Bridger Valley Motor first quarter. Trips right. Shotgun form. One receiver to the left side. It looks like Hatch is the quarterback. He is. Takes it on the option keeper. A couple, maybe 1 yard. Brought down by Kimball Madsen and Jimmy Medler on the tackle. Closed the space to the edge. Hatch tried to cut inside. Did not have much real estate to work with. Hatch and Moon will change in and out at quarterback. If Hatch is in at QB, expect him to be running, or at least running that option as we saw. Hatch stays in at quarterback, Ruby to his left. Handoff Ruby to the right side. Nowhere to go again. Ripped back at the line of scrimmage on second down and 8. 3:30 left. Brings up third down and long. Hunter Gross on the tackle.
Loss will be back to the 29-yard line.
Marks it down for third down and 8 at the 29. This is the second drive for Buffalo today. They come out on 3rd and 8 on the 29, their own. Trips to the right, shotgun. And Moon back in at quarterback. Passing play, Moon looks out left side. Has Hatch in double coverage. Overthrows them. Hatch nearly hauls it in, though, over his head. Ashton Schofield in on the breakup as well. Caleb Knutson, the other man in coverage for Mountain View. Stopped at exactly 3 minutes to go in the first quarter. No score on the Benedict's Market and True Value board here in the Bridger Valley Motor first quarter. Spotted on the 29. Barring another high snap, we should see a punt finally. Schofield on the near side to return, and Sweeney up on the far at about the 31. High punt, past the 40, and a fair catch called, but bobbled by Sweeney at the 35. Stays in Mountain View's possession. And they nearly had a turnover, which would have been their just 4th of the varsity season. And again, we have to keep stats separate for Mountain View because so many times they've been pulling their starters in the second quarter. And if not that, then at halftime. We've only had a couple of games, Cokeville, Thermopolis, and Burns, where players saw time into the second half or fourth quarter. Those were the 3 closest games of the year. 35-0 the score against Thermopolis, 56-12 against Burns last week. No score here, 2:51. Ball spotted on the 35. Tight set. Walk, puts the ball on the ground again. Schofield drops it, picked up by Buffalo on the 26. One play after a near escape. And Buffalo comes away with a turnover. Hiram Hatch on the recovery.
Hiram Hatch makes the play for Buffalo.
Mountain View won't beat Mountain View. That's the motto that's been preached all year, and that's a direct result of the 7 turnovers in last year's state contest. Well, there's turnover number 1. And as we mentioned, just the play before that marks just the 4th of the season for this varsity. The handoff was bobbled, and then Schofield picked it up and then dropped it again. Couldn't ever quite get the hand on it. Ruby at the 26. Moves right of center. Gross on the tackle.
Ruby, the ball carrier.
Madsen in as well. Well, that's the first big storyline so far of this Bridger Valley Motor first quarter. Mountain View fumbles and gives a short field to work with for Buffalo. Marked at the 28. Second down and about 8 to go. Trips left. Ruby behind Moon. Handoff up the middle. Brecken Barnes meets him at the line of scrimmage and sends him backward.
Brecken Barnes makes the stop.
3rd down and about 7.
It'll be 3rd and 7.
Just across the 25. Marked at about the 23. First down spot at the 16. Ruby behind Moon, now moves to his right, trips to the left side in the receivers. 4-2 front from Mountain View. Moon calling out to the right side. Bubble screen, completed to Hatch at the 28. Inside to the 20. And close to the first down marker. Blue Mel on the tackle. Push forward. Maybe just a bit shy, but
tackled by Manson.
4th and 2 upcoming. Inside the 20. This is Buffalo's first trip into the red zone today.
4th and 2.
Have the second leading rusher in 2A in Rowan Ruby at your disposal. Over 1,700 yards on the season. And Buffalo comes out in an I formation with Hatch at fullback. Moon under center. Looking out left side to Coach Hammond. Moves back under center. Loaded up box from Mountain View. Handoff to the fullback Hatch. And driven backwards. Brecken Barnes, Hunter Meeks in on the tackle. And a stop. It appears. For Mountain View. Yes, it is. A turnover on downs again.
Game was to the 18-yard line, short of the first down mark.
So Mountain View takes over on the 18.
Mountain View takes over
after a turnover, nearly gave away a point and a score to Buffalo, but good hold by the defense here. The defense has probably been lost with all of the offensive prowess that we've seen this season and just how dominant they've been. No one has been able to rush on them early on. Buffalo has been by far the most successful team, as we probably expected that to be the case. Trips left. Option, out right side, Madsen turns around at the 15. In the backfield, he's tackled down by Hiram Hatch. Make it 2nd down and 11. Yards for the Mountain View side. Has had a big breakout for Kimball Madsen of 21.
11 yards to go.
But that's accounted for all but 17 of his yards on 7 carries. Now 5.4 yards per carry on the average early on. That sounds pretty good. Madsen averaging just about 9 on the season. 3 receivers to the left side. 2nd down and 11 on the 16. And Mountain View will have another discussion. Timeout. Never mind. End of the first quarter. We're down to the zeros. That's the end of the Bridger Valley Motor first. Let the clock run out. 12 minutes put back on the clock. And we will come back with the second quarter, brought to you by Big Country Properties. No score either way. Buffalo and Mountain View on the Benedict's Market and True Value Board. This is the First Bank presentation of Mountain View football on MyLocalRadio.com and KNY at 99.1 FM.
A common thread no matter where you live in Wyoming is that if you're heading somewhere, it's probably going to be a while until you get there. A lot can go wrong on these long road trips across this great state. And if you ever find yourself broke down on the side of the road, it's time to call Glade Erickson at Bridger Valley Motor to come pick you up, day or night. Bridger Valley Motor offers 24-hour towing services. If you need a tow, you need to call Glade on his cell phone at 307-780-3280. Bridger Valley Motor is here to pick you up if your lift ever lets you down. 307-780-3280.
The best place to stay when you're in Casper, Wyoming is the Come On In Hotel and Suites. This beautiful log hotel offers 5 hot tubs, 1 pool, a fitness center, and fabulous indoor atrium. Offering jacuzzi and fireplace suites, the guest rooms are comfortable and relaxing. Plus, every stay includes a delicious extended continental breakfast. Whenever you're in Casper, stay at the best place. Come On In Hotel and Suites. Come on in today. Come On In Hotel and Suites, Casper.
Well, here's something we're not used to saying. 0-0 at the end of the first quarter on the Benedict's Market and True Value Board. Mountain View has not been held out of the end zone all season long in the first quarter. And probably haven't been held out of the end zone fewer than 4 times, just about. It's a bit of an exaggeration, but it has been a slow start. But, of course, they have not been playing Buffalo all year. The defending state champions heading back up to 3A and next year, so not sure if we'll win the next time. We'll get to see these two teams play. Played 7 times in all. Walk back to throw in the first play from the second quarter. Schofield at the 50. Jumps up and just a bit shy. Broken up.
Schofield, the intended receiver.
Looked like Lopez down there.
Dakota Lopez defending for the Bison.
First play of the second quarter brings up 3rd down and 11. Mountain View dialed up a long pass play. They've made one big one already, that to Schofield. Looked like that would result in the first touchdown of the day as it went down to the 11. Mountain View would get to within 3 yards from the end zone, but a turnover on downs on 4th and 2. Here's 3rd and 11. Walk back to throw in the gun as well. Has time. Steps up the middle of the field. Blue Mel reaches out, dives, and catches it at the 43. Big gain on 3rd down, and the ball was not perfect, but Blue Mel adjusted to it, and he's got the benefit of that big 6'4" body. The returning All-Stater. He was an 1,100-yard rusher as a running back last year, and he plays receiver as well in that sophomore and junior campaign, but Braden Walk was the leading receiver. Well, now that Walk's the full-time quarterback and Madsen's pretty much that full-time running back, Blue Mel's found a spot outside of in these split back situations that we have now, where he gets a fake handoff out to the right side. Walk pitches to Madsen up to the 50, the 40, still on his feet at the 30. Pyle drives forward, and he breaks through 2 tackles, stuffed him into the end zone. Touchdown, Kimball Madsen on a gigantic Herculean run. He stiff-armed and bowled through 2 men on the right sideline. 58-yard touchdown for Kimball Madsen, his 20th of the year and none better. 6-0 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. It takes Mountain View 46 seconds in quarter number 2 to put their mark. Tiancum Picola out to kick the extra point. Walk holding at the 10-yard line. Well, that gets Mountain View's fans up on their feet. Kick is up and through the uprights. It's 7-0 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. A 58-yard run for Kimball Madsen, and it's 7-0. This is a First Bank presentation of Mountain View football at MyLocalRadio.com and KNY at 99.1 FM.
Buying or selling is a simple process if you're working with the right real estate agent. This is Bobby Dalzall, broker with Big Country Properties. We have agents serving both Lincoln and Uintah counties that can assist you with all of your real estate needs. We are the top listing and selling brokerage in the Bridger Valley and strive to be honest, hardworking, and thorough. Whether buying or selling, we make it happen. Call us today at Big Country Properties, 307-782-3556.
Well, I've seen Kimball Madsen do a lot of things, obviously, this season, what he's done on the football field. I've seen him look like Tom Seaver out on the pitching mound in the American Legion season, but that tops them all. The 58-yard run and about 4 or 5 broken tackles on the way, including 2 at the same time at about the 25. And through everyone, Madsen would not be stopped. It makes it 7-0 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. Opening salvo of this contest comes with 11:16 left in the Big Country Properties second quarter. Broker Bobby Dalzall is part of the #1 listing and selling agency in the Bridger Valley. Commercial, residential, land or ranch listings, whether you're looking to buy or sell, call BigCountryProperties.com at 307-782-3356. Or, of course, you can visit anytime online, BigCountryProperties.com. T. Picola at the 40, boots it deep. And all the way through the hands of the would-be return man, picked up at the 1-yard line, tries to return it out, does not get back to the 10, and looked like Rowan Ruby was the man letting the ball slip through his fingers there. And Bryson Walker on the takedown. It was Ruby. I don't know what sort of spin T. Picola's put on kicks this year, but it seems like maybe just with how close he gets it to the end zone. We've had that happen so many times. A return man thinks about it, goes back, thinks about it, then goes to catch it and goes right through his hands. I think that happened 3 times with Bo Clayson last week in the Burns contest. Trips to the left, ball at the 6-yard line, pitch out, left side. Ruby has some lead blockers in the receiver. Tries to extend the field, takes down to the 10, ball squirts down onto the deck, picked back up by Mountain View. The official signal, the Mountain View recovery. Jimmy Medler on the pickup. And now the Buffs have the ball within the red zone again on the 7. First and goal, Mountain View.
The Buffalo 7-yard line.
Well, one big play, followed by a defensive stop on one play. A takedown and fumble recovery for Medler. Medler playing at left guard right now. Gross to the left of him at tackle. Split back set. Blumel to the left of Walk. Handoff to that left side of Medler and Gross. Madsen forward inside the 5. Pyle appears to stop at about the 3.
Madsen carries inside the 5.
10:51 in the Big Country Properties.
The
Second quarter.
Goal at the 3-yard line.
Marked at the 3. Second down and goal. Mountain View already up 7-0. .30 on the clock. Buffs take the line of scrimmage again. Shotgun form, 4 receivers, 2 to either side. Madsen to the left of the gun. Man in motion is Knutson. They run a counter play to Madsen, in to the end zone. Touchdown, Mountain View.
3 yards for the score.
13-0 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board, and just like that, Kimball Madsen has scored twice within 2 minutes. First score came about 1 minute and 2 seconds ago. The second at 10:14 left in the Big Country Properties second quarter. Picola right back out to kick the extra point. It's up through the uprights. 14-0. Mountain View exits the first quarter, tied with Buffalo. Not even 2 minutes in to the second quarter, they lead 14-0 on a First Bank presentation of Mountain View football on MyLocalRadio.com and KNY and 99.1 FM.
The central and midwestern U.S. averages more than 850 tornadoes each year, and lately, the number of floods has been rising in the region too. So chances are, there will be more twisters and floods near here again. And between school, sports, and social lives, chances are, you won't be with your kids when it happens. Will they know what to do? Ready.gov/kids has all the educational tools and information to make the conversation easy. When the time comes, chances are they'll feel prepared, not scared. So talk with your family today.
14-0 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board as the Buffalo band plays. Tries to get their fans back into it. There's a lot of people sitting on those seats here on the near sideline for Buffalo. On the far side, got the milk jugs filled with rocks, a rockin'. And the Mountain View kick team comes out to a standing ovation. Picola set to kick it deep one more time. 14-0 in the second quarter, brought to you by Big Country Properties here at War Memorial Stadium. And it's deep, fielded at the 7, almost through the hands of Lopez that time. At the 20, to the 25, and stretches forward to the 26, where Buffalo will take over one more time. It was 2 plays and 7 yards, a 47-second drive after the fumble for Mountain View to take a 2-touchdown lead. We're going to look at the splits early. Madsen already over 100 yards through 10 carries, and there we go, Kimball. Most of that coming through the 58-yard touchdown run. Ruby, on the other hand, sitting at 15, and Hatch at 25. Single back set, 4 receivers. And it's a option keeper. Looked like Dawson Hatch out there on the keeper.
Dawson Hatch
taken back for a couple of yards on the tackle.
Down in the backfield by 50, Hunter Gross.
Hunter Gross takes the tackle down. For him, that's 4 or 5 on the day.
Losses 3 on the play, second down.
Make it second down and 13, 9:48 in the Big Country Properties second quarter. 3 receivers to the right. That means Moon's back in at quarterback because Hatch is the slot man on the near side. Moving from left to right. Bubble screen again. Takes off that first look, completed on a slant at the 30. Forward to about the 34. Dallas Lopez on the completion, on the receiving end of that completion. Makes it third down at about 2. Taken down to the 35.
Ball responded at the 35.
9:14 left in the Big Country Properties second. It's Moon's second. Yeah, second completion. I think actually third. I don't know. Says it's his second. 17 yards for Moon. Two-back set. Hatch comes in motion. Fakes the end around. Hand off to Ruby up the middle. 45. Brought down at the 44. First down and 10. Needed 2. Got about 8. Brigham Blue Mel on the takedown. So we're under 9 minutes here in the first half. Second quarter brought to you by Big Country Properties. I appreciate all of our sponsors. We'll have the Bradshaw's Glass Towing and Fitness halftime show. After this, we'll hear from Casey Bugis of the Mountain View Buffaloes volleyball team, named All-State earlier this week. 3 receivers to the left side, 1 to the right. And we've got Hatch in at quarterback. He pitches out left side to Ruby at the 45. Just shy of the 50. Brecken Barnes tackles him along with Medler.
Ruby carries the football. Brought down by 68, Brecken Barnes.
Second down,
Gain of 6
4 to go. 6-yard pickup for Ruby.
4 yards to go.
Spotted just shy of the 50 at the 49. Under center. Deep back eye formation. Hand off to Ruby to the right. Goes counter of the fullback. Medler brings him down, but not before the first down is gained at the 45. Pickup of 6 on the carry for Ruby. 14-0 the score on the Benedict's Market and True Value Board. Mountain View over Buffalo.
First down for the Bison.
Trying to refrain from using logos or mascots today because that just gets confusing in a hurry, with Mountain View being the Buffaloes and Buffalo being the town name. Trips right, shotgun for him at the 45, first and 10. Back to throw in another screen play, completed to Hatch from Moon. He turns around at the 50, tries to flip the field. Harris on the run. If there's all legal, he's got some space at the 40, through to the 30, on the left sideline at the 20, 15, taken out of bounds by Braden Walk. But a no gain goes for a lot, but there is a flag down at the 45. And when you flip the field like Hatch did there, it's almost impossible to come away without a block in the back somewhere. And that's the call that we get. Spot of the foul was at the line of scrimmage. So first and 10. Goes back a whole heck of a lot. 15 to bring up first down. Make it 20. Spotted at the 45. This on the Buffalo side of the 50.
Penalty will move the ball back to the 45-yard line.
Buffalo fans,
First and 20.
predictably not big fans of that play, or the call rather. Hearing them booing him, but now set to go. First and 20, under center. Two back set. Ruby takes the handoff. Big hole up the right side, gets about 5 yards and maybe a bit more.
Ruby carries across the 50-yard line.
Takes it inside to the 48. Still a long ways to go as they're working with 20 yards to work with on this set of downs. 7:02 left in the Big Country Properties second quarter.
Second down for the Bison.
14-0 Mountain View up on the Benedict's Market and True Value Board. Trips right. Calvin Rule all alone on the left side as a receiver. High snap, picked up by Hatch. He takes it up the middle and nowhere to go. Kimball Matson runs right into him. Picks up maybe one. Third down and 12. 6.5 to go in the second quarter, brought to you by Big Country Properties.
Third and 12.
See, Dawson Hatch now says he has 1 yard. Iron with 25. I guess that was the big fullback run up the middle. 3 receivers right side. Third down and 12. Fakes the screen pass, hand off to Ruby. Up a giant hole to the left, past the 40, into the 36. Fourth down and quite manageable, about a yard shy, maybe 2. Need to get to the 35, and Ashton Schofield tackles him down at the 37. 4th and 2, and a gain of
marked at the 37.
9 on the play.
Fourth down, 2 yards to go.
Buffalo surely going for it here, down 2 touchdowns in the final 5.5 minutes of the first half. Moon is in at quarterback. Has 2 backs to the right of him. Hatch moves into motion. They go opposite to Ruby. He's got the first down and more, down to the 31. Pickup of 6 on the play from the 37. Move the chains for Buffalo. Driving here in what could be their last drive of the first half. Marked at the 30. Far hash mark. Buffalo in the white jerseys moving from left to right. 1 turnover for both teams already. Shotgun form, 4 receivers, 2 either side. Ruby in the backfield with Moon the quarterback. Man in motion, goes around right side. Pocket collapses under Moon. He steps up and throws it into the middle of the field to the 18. Completed to Dallas Lopez. Dakota Lopez, right? And it's first down and 10 again. Flat forward to the 17. Good play for Moon, and saw the pocket collapsing around him, stepped up, held on and got it to Lopez. 3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Shotgun pitch left side to Ruby. Good block up the middle. Or up on the left side, I should say. It was Taylor Swanston lead blocking. Allows for a pickup of about 3.
Tackle by 10, Brigham Blumel.
Blumel on the takedown.
Ball will be marked at the 14 after.
Takes it inside the 15. 4:15 left in the Big Country Properties second quarter. 14-0 Mountain View up. Have Lopez alone on the right side. 2 backs set in the gun. 2 receivers left. Again, Hatch in motion. This time he gets it. Tries to extend the field out the right sideline. Taken down by Blumel at the 15 for a loss on the play. 3rd down and 7 upcoming.
Brought down from behind by Blumel.
3:46 left. Clock continues to tick. Mountain View did receive to start the contest, so Buffalo will get it in the second. 3rd down and 1, 2, say make it 8 yards to go. First down at about the 7. Timeout taken with 3:37 left in the Big Country Properties second quarter. 14-0 the tally on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. Mountain View leads it by 2 scores. This is a First Bank presentation of Buffs football on MyLocalRadio.com and KNY and 99.1 FM.
We're here to help strengthen our community. Yes, that's right. At Trona Valley Federal Credit Union, we take pride in belonging to our community. We encourage people of every race, gender, and belief to come together and give their all towards the betterment of our community. It's about people helping people. When you join our credit union, you also join a movement. At Trona Valley, we are thankful for our members, member NCUA, trust NCUA, a credit union system that is safe, sound, and secure.
14-0 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. Mountain View leading off of the heels of 2 touchdowns by Kimball Matson. And I think we can probably go ahead and close the book on the Dr. McKay Franklin Precision play of the game. I guess I just want to call it the brute force play of the game. Matson with that 58-yard touchdown run, breaking tackles up the sideline, and a man possessed and on a mission. You got to remember, Matson played a lot of quarterback in that game last year that saw 5 interceptions against this Buffalo team. All year long, this Mountain View program and Buffalo program have been on a collision course toward each other. And Mountain View looking to play smart, but certainly with the mindset of payback, as they could be looking at 3 state titles if not for that big loss, 43-18 last year. 3rd down and 8. Moon runs around in a double reverse. Ball on the deck. Picked up by either Hatch or Medler. And it's picked up by Jimmy Medler, his 2nd fumble recovery of the game. It was a double reverse. Hatch bobbled the ball, taking it out of the hands. It looked like Ruby. And Medler was in the backfield
25-yard line
to pick it up. Ball at the 25. Now 2 fumbles for Buffalo. When we saw the first by Mountain View, you had to think, if you were watching last year's, oh no, does this mean here we go again? Now for Buffalo, their 2nd turnover. This one in a little better position than the last that led to an 11-yard 2-play touchdown drive. First play from scrimmage, handoff Matson. Breaks through 1 tackle, trying to break another, but finally ripped backward.
Tackle by 51, Anthony Graves.
Graves on the tackle. 3:21 left and ticking away in the Big Country Properties second quarter. 14-0, Mountain View leads it.
Gain of 2, it'll be 2nd and 8.
So 1 fumble by Ruby and 1 by Hatch now. Second down, 8 to go on the 27. Split back shotgun. 3 receivers. Man in the slot is right. Play action. Walk has time to throw. Blumel released up the middle of the field, and it goes in and out of his hands and maybe into his helmet. Incomplete at about the 40. Hiram Hatch backed up on the ball. He was in front of Blumel, and he may have had a chance to pick it off as it had a low trajectory. It was a bullet coming out of the hands of Walk. Just missed it. Reached up high. And pardon me, that was actually Calvin Rule, who nearly got a hand on the ball to break it away. Either way, it's incomplete. Third down and 8 on the 27. Shotgun set, trips right. Walk rolls around to his right, has time to throw. Now steps back at the 20. Up the middle of the field, nobody was guarding Schofield. He's at the 50. Tackled by Hatch, across the 50. Another big play for Mountain View's offense. Up the middle of the field, Schofield has been the go-to receiver today on the deep plays. That one was just waiting for someone to come up, and finally, Schofield presented an opportunity up the middle of the field. But a flag will negate it. Walk did have a lot of time in the backfield. Maybe too much time. And holding on the offense takes it away. Would have been about a 33-yard pickup. Instead, it's spotted at the 10 to make it third down and 25. 2:41 left in the Big Country Properties second quarter. Mountain View with a 2-touchdown lead, just picking up their second fumble recovery, both by Jimmy Medler. Trips to the left, and maybe time to see what Walk's arm can really do. Post route to Schofield, again completed to the 35 and to the 40. Third and 8, third and 25, it doesn't matter. Find Schofield up the middle of the field, and he will deliver.
Tackled by 55, Swanston.
Swanston on the tackle, but Medler had the route run perfectly, and the speed of Schofield and Blumel, and really all of those Mountain View defenders, or receivers, I should say, got just about all their defenders beaten all year long, and Schofield's been finding a lot of space in today's game as well. 30-yard pickup on the completion. First and 10, 3 receivers to the left. Down to 2:13, Blumel comes in motion. They run counter to Madsen at the 45, 50, up the middle of the field. Cuts out with a block from Knutson to the 30. The man falls down at the 20. Madsen again breaks through a tackle. He's into the end zone. His third of the day. The final man with the option to tackle him, Mason Moon, tried to go low. And we've got a player down for Buffalo at the 50. It's Dawson Hatch. 1:59 left, 20-0. Mountain View scores. Hatch stays down. He's right at the Cowboy at the center of the field at the 50. And both teams will head to their sidelines while he's tended to. We'll take a break. 1:59 left, 20-0 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. Mountain View with a third touchdown today by Kimball Madsen on a First Bank presentation of Buffs football on MyLocalRadio.com and KNY and 99.1 FM.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move. So I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
We know that when you think of Plains Tire in Evanston, you always think
the Tire Professionals.
Quality customer service. They're friendly with great prices.
I really like Plains Tire in Evanston.
But did you also know that the team at Plains Tire offers oil changes, windshield wiper checks, and free alignment checks? That's right, free alignment checks. We don't want you to quit thinking all those great things when you hear Plains Tire. We just want you to add to the list. Plains Tire, the Tire Professionals. Stop in today, 157 Bear River Drive.
Hatch is able to be helped off the field. And now the extra point up for Tiancum Picola. Hits the right post. So 20-0, the score stays on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. Mountain View off a 60-yard touchdown by Kimball Madsen has the Buffs. Oh, never mind, did they give him the point? Did it roll in? I thought it hit the post and... Oh, okay, high school posts. All right, oh, never mind. Got some extra posts in there. I looked at the wrong post. The kick hit the college post. But that's good here in high school. So 21-0 the score on the Benedict's Market and True Value board on a First Bank presentation of Mountain View football on MyLocalRadio.com and KNYN 99.1 FM.
When you have any mechanical problems, always think of Reese Auto Service in Lyman first. Doug and the mechanics at Reese Auto Service work on everything from your lawnmower and snowblower to cars, trucks, farm and ranch equipment, and semis. You can also get tires for anything you need at Reese Auto Service. Always visit Reese first. You'll get great pricing and quality-friendly service. Reese Auto Service, 541 Highway 413, Lyman.
21-0 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. T-Picola. That extra point was good. The high school posts are put out there, and they're just a little bit wider than college. Another bad return out there. Lopez bobbles it out of bounds. It's not a kick out of bounds. It was touched by Dallas. So referees having a conference, and where to spot it. It'll be at the 5.
Will go out of bounds at the 5-yard line.
Dallas Lopez just bobbled that ball. And again, the troubles of returning a T-Picola kick continue here in championship week. 156 on the board. 1st and 10. For Buffalo, down 3 scores. Rule and Ruby, it looks like, split out right side. No, never mind, that's Lopez. Ruby takes the handoff up the middle, picks up a couple on a dive play, nothing more than that.
Brought down by Brecken Barnes.
2nd down and 7 to go. Brecken Barnes on the tackle. Final 2 minutes of the first half. Second quarter brought to you by Big Country Properties. Appreciate all of our sponsors in the Bridger Valley throughout the year. Basketball season is just a few weeks away. Spots open for that as we're getting set for Mountain View and Lyman. 2nd down and 7. Cut right side, going right of guard, and Ruby finds some more space, close to a first down, about a yard or 2 short. Out to the 13. A 60-yard run by Kimball Madsen and a 58-yard run, or 2 of those touchdowns, and then really you can credit that fumble recovery of the Mountain View defense for that 2nd touchdown in between. But overall, Madsen sitting at 12 attempts, 165 yards, a 13.8 yard per carry average in his last high school football game. Pitch left, faked from Moon, and then handed off to Ruby. Nowhere to go. In the backfield, it's Brigham Blue Mountain, making Hunter Gross.
Tackle by 10, Blue Mountain.
Tackles him down for a loss of about 2. 4th down, 48 seconds. And Buffalo for a timeout. 21-0 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. Mountain View leads in the 2A state championship. We'll be back with the conclusion of the Big Country Properties 2nd quarter right after this. This is a First Bank presentation on MyLocalRadio.com.
Buying or selling is a simple process if you're working with the right real estate agent. This is Bobby Dalzall, broker with Big Country Properties. We have agents serving both Lincoln and Uintah counties that can assist you with all of your real estate needs. We are the top listing and selling brokerage in the Bridger Valley and strive to be honest, hardworking, and thorough. Whether buying or selling, we make it happen. Call us today at Big Country Properties, 307-782-3556.
21-0 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. Mountain View takes a timeout with 48 seconds remaining in the half. On a 4th down, pinned inside their own 20. Buffalo forced to punt. Sweeney, the lone back, to receive. Stepping a couple of yards behind the 50. A high snap into the end zone, just picked up now, taken and run. Stumbled at the 4. It's Dawson Hatch. He has returned back into the game, but taken out of bounds at the 7. And a fine timeout decision for Mountain View indeed. They now get the ball inside their own 10 one more time. Just took one last look to make sure there was no flags on the play. Didn't see any. .42 seconds to go, and for Mountain View's offense, they've scored twice in that many times, in that amount of time at points in this season. You can see the back starting to break on a couple of those runs by Madsen of that Buffalo defense. And it looks like, oh, there's Walk in the backfield with Madsen to his left. Trips to the right, Blumel alone on the left side. Comes up the middle of the field, slant to Blumel in the end zone, knocked away by Rowan Ruby. You find Blumel out on an island like that in single coverage, and a lot of times you can figure to see the throw going his way. Ran a slant pattern up the middle, and Ruby jumped the route and swatted it out of the air. 37 seconds. Second down and goal. Ball spotted on the 8.
Second and goal from the 8-yard line.
Trips right again. Blumel tighter in formation. Walk looks his way. Come back route to the outside. Underthrown and picked off. Interception by Buffalo. Ends that threat. Nate Swanson on the interception. Takes it out of bounds at the 3. 32 seconds remain. So Mountain View had a chance. And an underthrown route intended for Blumel. Swanson was in front of the play the whole time, and a questionable decision there by the quarterback, who's had very few this season. Came into the game with 1 interception in week 1 and 1 in week 10. 1 in week 10, yeah, that'd be the week. That was last year in the semifinals. Second turnover of the day for Mountain View. I formation for Moon, handing off to Ruby. Takes it back to the line of scrimmage. Hunter Meeks leading the charge on the bring down. And I would imagine that should be it. Mountain View's out of timeouts. No reason for Buffalo to try to extend this half. Pinned deep inside their own end zone on the 4. 13 seconds. We'll have the Bradshaw's Glass Towing and Fitness halftime show. Again, we'll hear from Casey Bugas. Try to get down on the sidelines, a report from Duke Dance as well, our sideline reporter today. End of the first half has Mountain View leading 21-0 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. 3 touchdowns and 165 yards for Kimball Madsen, leading the way. This is a First Bank presentation of Mountain View football on MyLocalRadio.com. Again, Mountain View leads Buffalo 21-0.
Whatever you need, it's likely that Bradshaw's and Lyman can help. Whether it's windows at home or new glass in your car, truck, SUV, or semi, Bradshaw's has it. Tires? Yes. All vehicles, ATVs, semis, and more. Bradshaw's offers a 24-hour towing service for everything large to small. And the Bradshaw Fitness Center is open 24/7. There's more, so always call Bradshaw's first. Whatever you need, it's likely they can help. 307-787-3450. Again, that's 307-787-3450.
Hello, this is Dr. McKay Frankham. As a dentist in Evanston for over 20 years now, my mission has always been to provide quality dental care for people of all ages at reasonable prices. I'm a detail-oriented person, and it's important to me to stay current on new dental procedures and protocols that can help my patients have the best experience and have the best results. Over the years, I've also worked to keep my overhead low so that I can pass those savings on to my patients. I believe everyone deserves quality dental care. Please call us today at 307-789-8910.
Sometimes getting the whole family scheduled for a dental appointment is hard. Different days, different times, and then how do you pay for it all? These problems have been solved by Black's Fork Dental in Mountain View because we serve patients of all ages. It's easy to schedule the whole family on the same day, so you just make one trip. We accept most insurances, and if you don't have insurance, we offer an in-house discount so the whole family can have a healthy smile. Don't wait. Call today. Black's Fork Dental in Mountain View, 307-782-3630.
Light up your world with a custom-built LED sign from Rocky Mountain Sign in Evanston. It's a proven fact that signage that lights up creates more attention. So light it up and then add text, images, and video, and your sign becomes even more powerful. Start sharing your advertising messages and information with your customers today. The team at Rocky Mountain Sign provides all types of quality signage that is custom-built and maintained. Call today for a free quote. Rocky Mountain Sign, 307-789-5202. Rocky Mountain Sign, serving customers in Wyoming, Utah, and Idaho.
We hope you're enjoying this MyLocalRadio.com exclusive broadcast of Bridger Valley Sports. We love being able to travel around the state to bring the action on the field or court back to you watching at home. Let's face it, doing all of this would not be possible without all of our great sponsors. We appreciate the support the following businesses and individuals show to both Mountain View and Lyman Sports. Jeff Piper and Farmers Insurance in Evanston. Whether it's home, life, renters, auto, or more, Jeff Piper is your one-stop shop for all of your insurance needs. Black's Fork Dental, top-of-the-line dentistry available right in your backyard. Thank you to all of our Bridger Valley sports sponsors.
Serving Wyoming since 1941, Plains Tire is Wyoming's oldest and largest tire dealer with great locations throughout the state. They'll get you the right tires and offer the best results for your vehicle at the lowest prices, guaranteed. Plus, you can go to any Plains Tire Pro dealer with their nationwide warranty service. And check out their Plains Tire phone app.
Come down and see us at Plains Tires on 157 Bear River Drive for all your automotive needs. Hablamos también español.
Here at the half, Mountain View leads it 21-0 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. We'll get to stats in just a second. But now we check in down on the field with Duke Dance. 4 turnovers in the first half. What's going on down there, Duke?
Well, I had a chance to talk with Coach Walk as he was heading into the locker room, Jake, and he was mixed emotions heading into the locker room. Of course, he loved having this 21-0 point lead, but he said, honestly, that was probably the worst half Mountain View's played, which is kind of surprising. You're up 21-0. He said partial credit to that goes to Buffalo's great offense, defense, but he said we had too many turnovers, we had too many penalties, and he said the tough running and those big plays got them the big lead, but he says we got to play better in the second half. Coach Walk emphasizing that this one is far from over, and they got to keep the intensity up in the second half.
Duke, one more thing before we go in. Did you find any? What was going on with Dawson? It looked like he came back out after a couple of plays. Does it look like it was just a stinger, a little temporarily down, but he's good to go now?
Yeah, he appears good to go. He did come out of the game, as you mentioned, after making that big hit on defense and favoring his shoulder. He did get a little attention, just kind of shrugged it off, did some whirlwind twirls around his arm a few times, and once he's able to go, and as you saw in the second half, or second quarter, he was throwing the football, so appears to be fine.
That's Duke Dance down on the sidelines. Duke, thank you. Well, we got stats now for the first half of play, and Kimball Matson running all over this defense right now, and he's getting some space up the middle, but then he gets into the open field, and he has been absolutely Herculean out there and just running over men, throwing them to the ground, sometimes using one man to toss him off and then throw it onto another guy to get him off. So far for Madsen, 12 rushes for 165 yards, 3 touchdowns, the long of 60. He also had the 58-yard touchdown. That's an average of 13.8 yards per carry in the game. Braden Walk, 6 of 11. He has 100 yards exactly. Completed that long 30-yarder down to Ashton Schofield. That was down to the 11-yard line, where it looked like on the second drive, Mountain View would bust it open and get their first points of the game. They made it to within the 3-yard line, but opted to, on 4th and 2, to go for it and go for the touchdown. And I guess that's the way Mountain View's played all year. No one's been able to stop them. They ended up turning it over on downs. There were 4 turnover on downs between the two teams through the first couple of drives before we finally saw the second quarter open up a little bit. 3 touchdowns, all started by that 58-yard score of Kimball Matson. And then a fumble recovery by Jimmy Medler on the 11-yard line led to a 2-play, 11-yard drive for, I think it was 7-yard drive rather, for the Mountain View Buffs. 2 carries for Matson, bullied it his way into the end zone, and then the 60-yard breakout as well. But setting up that 3rd touchdown as well, we had a 3rd down and 25 completion to Ashton Schofield. Schofield's been the vertical receiver in today's contest. He's got 2 catches for 58 yards, 3 for Brigham Blumel, and a long of 25 for Blumel. He has 41 yards, and then 1 completion to Matson for a net gain of 1 yard. On the Buffalo side of things, 74 yards gained, but net of 61 for Rowan Ruby on 19 carries. He's averaging just 3.2 yards per carry, and on the season, Ruby came in about equal with Kimball Matson, just ahead actually. Ruby was averaging just under 10 yards per carry. It was like 9.99 repeating on 170 carries, 1,699 yards, and 18 touchdowns. Matson came in with 19 touchdowns on the year. He's now up to 22 on the season. This is his final of his high school career. And there's a lot of players out there playing in their final games of their high school career. That includes a guy who's gotten a couple of fumbles recovered today. Jimmy Medler, the 6'1", 220-pound linebacker, has been playing good in space and has a nose for the ball when it's hit the ground. Hunter Gross out there creating holes along with Brecken Barnes. Hunter Meeks, he'll be back next year as well, but doing good at that line as well. Again, this is a state championship match, and Madsen averaging over almost 14 yards per carry. The total breakdown: Buffalo has 6 first downs, Mountain View with 7. Should mention Mason Moon, 3 of 5 for 30 yards with 2 catches to Dakota Lopez for 24 yards and 1 to Dawson Hatch for 6 yards. Again, 6 first downs for Buffalo, 7 for Mountain View. Rushing breakdown, 157-82 in favor of Mountain View. Passing in favor of the Buffs as well, 100-30. And total offense about doubled up and then some for the Buffs, 257 on 26 plays for 112 yards on 33 plays for Buffalo. 2 turnovers, and 2 turnovers for both teams. 1 fumble, 1 interception for Mountain View, 2 fumbles, 1 by Hatch, 1 by Ruby for Buffalo. That will make things interesting as we come out in the second half. As you heard Duke dance down on the sideline, Coach Walk said this one is far from over, and you have to agree, turnovers have made this one a little bit bigger of a margin than it could be. This is a First Bank presentation of Mountain View football here on the Bradshaw's Glass Towing and Fitness halftime show. Bradshaw's Glass Towing and Fitness offering auto, home, and glass repair, 24-hour towing, and a fitness center that never closes. Whatever it is you need, Bradshaw's can probably help. We'll be back on the Bradshaw's Glass Towing and Fitness halftime show with Casey Bugus next.
Whatever you need, it's likely that Bradshaw's in Lyman can help. Whether it's windows at home or new glass in your car, truck, SUV, or semi, Bradshaw's has it. Tires? Yes. All vehicles, ATVs, semis, and more. Bradshaw's offers a 24-hour towing service for everything large to small. And the Bradshaw Fitness Center is open 24/7. There's more, so always call Bradshaw's first. Whatever you need, it's likely they can help. 307-787-3450. Again, that's 307-787-3450.
Back here at the Bradshaw's Glass Towing and Fitness halftime show, 21-0, Mountain View leads Buffalo. Pitching a shutout as Mountain View's been want to do this year so many times in all. Let's take a look on their shutouts. They got a shutout 41-0 on September 6th over Cokeville. 2 weeks later against Level, 47-0. Then Thermopolis 35-0. Lyman 45-0. And then in the playoffs, they got through, Grable 64-0. And then the quarterfinals, Wheatland 72-0. Gave up 12 points last week to Burns. 6 of those were varsity points allowed. 5:20 before the start of the third quarter in the Bradshaw's Glass Towing and Fitness halftime show. Let's hear from Casey Bugus, newly minted sophomore All-State libero for the Mountain View Buffs volleyball team.
Casey Bugus joins me, sophomore and newly minted All-State libero. That's kind of a cool thing to get as a sophomore. How'd you feel about that?
I was very excited and very grateful for the opportunity to receive that.
When did you find out?
I found out last night, like an hour after it was posted.
Okay, so you didn't know beforehand, your coaches didn't let you in on it at all?
No.
You have an older sister, Allie. She was All-State last year. Does Allie think you're a good libero or not?
She teases me all the time about it. Yes, but yeah, she's very supportive of me and always is giving me feedback and tells me what I need to do to improve and get better.
I kind of wondered, older sister's like, hey, you're not as good as me, right?
Yes.
Was Allie starting as a sophomore as well, or a freshman even?
Yeah, she was on the varsity as a freshman. She wasn't starting, but she definitely played.
How's she doing at Casper College?
She's doing really good, actually. I'm really proud of her, and it's cool to go watch her.
Now, you and your sister have someone who has, now been in the college atmosphere. Does she ever tell you anything about the differences of high school to college?
Yeah, she talks about how the play is more intense up there and how much quicker it is, and how if she was back in high school it would be super slow. And
now, state tournament just finishes. You guys get 1 win in the tournament. I know you were looking for more, but after you finish up this season, a lot of you girls have a few more years to play together. How do you feel about this as kind of a stepping stone and trying to build towards something?
I'm very excited to get to play with all my friends for more years to come. It's sad to see Haley and Cortland and Caitlin go, but I'm definitely excited to play with my friends for a couple more years.
How long have you been playing volleyball?
I've been playing volleyball since as long as I can remember. I've grown up watching my sisters play, and it's always something that I like to watch and see them have fun, and know I'd want to do it as well.
It's not as easy to, I wouldn't imagine, it's not as easy to just have a pickup volleyball game as it is basketball. Did you girls ever get together and play around, or is it mostly bumping the ball around when you were little?
It was just mostly bumping the ball around when we were little.
Is that how every Bugis ends up with a libero jersey on?
Yeah, pretty much.
Now, of course, you girls are not the tallest on the team. We're not going to go as far as to say vertically challenged. You're just not the tallest on the team, so that's one thing. But there really has been a tradition of, in your family, it seems like, of defense. Where does that come from?
I actually don't know where that comes from. My mom was a setter in high school, so I don't know. I guess it's just something that we've all liked to do, I guess.
What's next now that volleyball's over? Onto the basketball season?
Yeah, and then soccer after basketball.
You play soccer as well?
Yes.
How long have you played soccer?
I've played soccer from when I was really little. I played just the AYSO games at the park, and then I actually was on a traveling soccer team that went and played in Utah for a couple of years.
This is the second year of soccer in Mountain View, right?
Yes.
So it's kind of a new thing. Tell me a little bit about how last year went for just trying to get a program off the ground.
It was really interesting, but it was a lot of fun, especially making history, being the first soccer team in Mountain View is pretty cool.
What were your numbers like last year compared to what you'd like to get them to this year?
We actually had really good numbers last year, but I know that we'll have more this year.
What about basketball? What do you hope? What are you personally hoping for to get out of this basketball season?
It's also going to be kind of a rebuilding year in basketball, so I just hope that we can learn how to play together as a team and just do our best and win some games and make it a state.
Now, what's your position? Are you a post?
No, I play shooting guard.
Okay. What about your sister?
She goes in as a 1 or a 2 as well.
Probably easier for you girls to play one-on-one than it is to play volleyball. Do you guys get any basketball games going at each other ever?
Yeah, we definitely do, but it kind of brings out the worst in us sometimes, so we have to stop playing.
Now basketball and then on to soccer and then volleyball. Do you do anything in the summer sports-wise, or is that time for you to relax?
I do sports all summer long, too.
What do you do in the summer?
Just camps and stuff.
Probably go to Mesa. Where all do you go for the summer camps here in Mountain View?
Yeah, we go to Mesa for basketball. We went to Evanston for a soccer camp, and we went to Utah State for a volleyball camp.
Now, to finish with volleyball, you made it all state one time, but you can't be happy. There's other liberos coming, and you go on to get better so you can help your team advance farther. What would you like to improve upon or work on with your game this year?
I'd like to improve just getting more digs, seeing the hitters earlier, improving my serve receive, seeing the serve early, make sure I'm being simple.
Practicing any more serving at all?
Yes.
What about the attacking? You had several libero attacks and kills this year. You going to keep working on that?
Of course.
And then maybe get up to the front line at outside by your senior year, right?
Oh, yeah.
That's Casey Bugis, sophomore libero and all-stater. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Back here on the Bradshaw's Glass Towing and Fitness halftime show. It's just about time for the second half of action. Mountain View up 21-0 on the Benedict's Market and True Value Board. Go ahead. Bradshaw's Glass Towing and Fitness, whatever it is you need, Bradshaw's can probably help. Mountain View leading the time of possession battle, 14:38 to 9:22 for Buffalo. Buffalo will get the ensuing kickoff in 30 seconds from now when we return on a First Bank presentation of Mountain View Football on MyLocalRadio.com.
The best live coverage of local sports, weather, local news, and radio classifieds, plus online streaming music, giveaways, and more. It's all on MyLocalRadio.com. Watch as your high school teams clash with their biggest rivals. Listen to the latest from your team's coaches. Catch up on local and regional news and stream your favorite music. Visit MyLocalRadio.com. Like us on Facebook and stream it all live.
Thank you for tuning in to the Bradshaw's Glass Towing and Fitness halftime show, second half, about to start here at War Memorial Stadium. Players set up on Jonah Field. The sophomore Tianka Pacola to boot it deep. Mentioned that we heard from Duke Dance in the halftime that Dawson Hatch came out briefly, but he seems to be good to go. It was his shoulder, and that's what he was adjusting down on the sideline. Kick to the 6-yard line. Picked up by Ruby up to the middle to the 25, and drive starts for the Buffs. No, it's still on the ground. He's still on the air, rather. Ball did not go on the ground. He's to the middle, the 30, the 25, 20. He made it through the pile, the 10, 5, touchdown. I thought he was down. It was looking like it. He was at the 27, and then all of a sudden the dust settled, and the pile was still moving, I guess, at the middle, and he went all the way into the end zone for the score. Well, Rowan Ruby gets a touchdown on the board. One way or another, he's been stuffed up a little bit on the ground as he's not been accustomed to. But the kick return to start the second half, 21-6 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. And there you go. You heard from Coach Walk over the halftime show that this game is far from over, and he knows better than anyone. One play can lead to another. And as momentum went all the way in the second quarter for Mountain View, it starts off with a big way. 18 seconds in, Buffalo's on the board. Extra point up and through the uprights. It's 7 for Buffalo now. 21-7, we've got a game here at War Memorial Stadium. 11:42, another kickoff. This time Buffalo. When we come back on a First Bank presentation of Mountain View football on mylocalradio.com.
Members of Trona Valley Federal Credit Union feel confident that our staff has your best interest in mind, confident that we acknowledge your financial needs, confident that we are always working hard to provide the best rates, best products, and the best service the industry can offer, and confident that we will always work with you to help achieve your financial goals. Join Trona Valley Federal Credit Union today. TronaValley.com, member NCUA.
Mentioned ending out of the Bradshaw's Glass Towing and Fitness halftime show that the time of possession was heavily in favor of Mountain View. Well, you don't need time of possession if you can return the kick for a touchdown, as Rowan Ruby just did. 91 yards down the field for the score, and it's 21-7 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. Mentioned Ruby struggling a bit in the rushing attack. He's got 61 yards on 19 attempts. It's a 3.2-yard average. And now to kick. It's a pooch kick down to the 30. Picked up and fielded. And to the 37. Connor Michaeli on that return. We're trying to get him maybe off guard there. Mountain View returns it to the 37 and starts their first drive of the third period. 21-7 the score on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. Ball spotted at the 38.
First and 10.
Mountain View scored 3 times, 2 of them coming on big plays. The other one off of a turnover that got the ball to the 11-yard line. They just needed to put it in a couple of plays in. Wide receiver end around, hand off to Blumel up to the 40. The 45, 50, he finds the sideline, lowers his shoulder, but Rule got a little bit under him. And he's taken out of bounds past the 45. Spot is at the 42. Pickup of about 20 for Blumel on the run.
Ball will be marked at the 42.
Might have a player down here.
For a 21-yard gain.
Yeah, we do have a player down on the far sideline for Buffalo. Coaching staff and trainers coming out to tend to him. And that looks like, is that a 10 out there? Looks like Lopez out there. Dakota Lopez, the player, down on the far sideline. 21-7 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board, third quarter. After the 20-yard gain by Brigham Blumel, Mountain View will have first and 10 across the 50 when we come back on a First Bank presentation of Buffs football on mylocalradio.com.
Making an informed decision when you choose coverage for you, your family, and your home is one of the most important decisions you'll ever make. Jeff Piper, Farmers Insurance Agent in Evanston, is here to help you get the coverage that is right for you at the best value. Find out how much you can save each month when you combine home, auto, and life insurance. Call Jeff Piper with Farmers Insurance at 307-789-5489 or stop in at 341 Front Street in Evanston. Jeff Piper, Farmers Insurance.
Jeff Piper and Farmers Insurance will bring you the fourth quarter of this 2A state championship match of Buffalo and Mountain View. Mountain View up by 2 scores after a return kickoff of 91 yards for Rowan Ruby. Began this quarter and made things interesting. Now Mountain View on the drive, picking up a 20-yard gain and a first down and an end-around sweep from Brigham Blue Mel from left to right. Mountain View, black jerseys, purple pants, moving in this third quarter from right to left. Buffalo in the white jerseys, white pants, black helmets on the defense. First down and 10, spotted at the 42. Split back set, fake to Blue Mel. Out to the left side, Walk runs out of real estate. Now tries to run. Doesn't get out of the backfield. A flag comes in as he's tackled down by Anthony Graves.
There's a flag on the field.
The line of scrimmage was about the 42, and Walk brought down about a half yard behind that. Flag spotted at the 43.
Personal foul. Face mask on the defense. 15 yards.
And a personal foul moves it forward with 11:21 and a first down picked up for Buffs, for the Mountain View Buffs on a broken run option. Moves it ahead to the 27. Working ever closer to the red zone. Split back set again for Mountain View. They've run this split back set more in this game than we've probably seen in any one game, maybe combined on the season. Fake to Blue Mel, handoff left side, Madsen, big hole to the 20. 15, carries a man 3 more yards, close to the 10. And another first down for Mountain View. That's 3 in a row, including the penalty. Spot at the 11. Well, the face mask moves it forward, and then the run of Madsen takes it for 16 more yards.
First and 10.
First down and 10. 11 yards out of the end zone. Pitch right side to Madsen out of the gun. He's looking for a hole. Block in the back, or a holding probably upcoming as he moves to the right side of Caleb Knutson. Inside to the 10, but the flag is down at the 10, or the 15 rather, and it is against Mountain View. Madsen was waiting for anything to develop. Had 3 blockers split out to the right side, and one of them got a little bit too outside the pad shelf. 10:33 in the third period. Walk it all the way back to the 25. Loss of 14 on that foul. Second down and 24.
Penalty will move it back to the 25.
Walk looks out to the far sideline looking for a play call. Now moves back into the gun. Madsen to the left of him. 3 receivers to the left. Schofield on that left side. Blue Mel alone on the right. It's a post pattern to Blue Mel. Underthrown just in front of Brigham.
Walks pass intended for Blue Mel.
And third down and 24 upcoming. Mountain View converted in the second quarter on a 3rd and 25 on a similar route to what we just saw there to Ashton Schofield. Pardon me, 2nd 25. It was 1st and 24 on that last play. Got ahead of myself with that spot foul. 4 receivers, 2 either way, shotgun set. Walk the gun. Madsen to his left, low snap. Has time to throw. Now the pocket collapses, rolls out to his left side, still looking downfield. Tosses it to the left sideline. Blue Mel was in the area, double covered there. Rowan Ruby, the man face guarding him. 3rd down and 24. 10-14 in the third period. 21-7. Mountain View takes 3 runs by Kimball Madsen in the end zone in the second quarter. Runs of 58 of 2 and 60. Madsen, the leading offensive tally man for today, 181 yards on 13 carries. Trips right. Looks like we have a tight end on the set. Single back. Walk looking out to throw. Completed to Madsen at the 25. To the 20. Cuts back into the field to the 15. Needs to get all the way to the 1 for a first down. Gets well short of there. He's at about the 12 or 11. Brings up 3rd down and about the initial 10 that they had before the spot foul. Brought him back to the 25.
Mountain View with a 2-touchdown lead now brings out T. Picola, the sophomore kicker, for the extra point, or for the field goal attempt.
4th and 11.
I should say. Picola on the year 1 for 5. On extra points, he's 46 of 54. Walk to hold at the 20-yard line, so it's a 30-yard attempt from Picola. Hold is good. Kick up and through the uprights. T. Picola adds 3 points to the board for Mountain View, 24-7 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board on a 30-yard field goal. This is the First Bank presentation of Mountain View football on MyLocalRadio.com and KNY at 99.1 FM.
Members of Trona Valley Federal Credit Union feel confident that our staff has your best interest in mind, confident that we acknowledge your financial needs, confident that we are always working hard to provide the best rates, best products, and the best service the industry can offer, and confident that we will always work with you to help achieve your financial goals. Join Trona Valley Federal Credit Union today. TronaValley.com, member NCUA.
(24-7) on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. Mountain View gets a 30-yard kick from T. Picola to make it a 17-point advantage. As the Buffs now lead by 3 possessions, the opening kickoff of the second half returned 91 yards for Rowan Ruby, gave Buffalo a sign of life. Mountain View ends up driving down the field 50 yards on 6 plays on their ensuing drive. It was a bit more than that, actually. I think it was started at the 38. So it'd be a 62-yard drive on 6 plays. Kick from Picola. In and out of the hands and then back into the hands of Ruby at the 10. Moves into the 20. Tripped up by Brigham Blumel.
Brought down by Brigham Blumel.
Buffalo starts at the 21.
Returns out to the 21-yard line.
9:22 left in the third period. Buffalo trails by 17. They have yet to score an offensive touchdown. They have the special teams return by Ruby. To the line of scrimmage, we have trips left. Shotgun for Moon. Ruby behind him. And Calvin Rule alone on the right side. Pitch left to Ruby. Races through to the 25. Got a slight gap, but Hunter Meeks held on and was drug a yard or two, but he's a big man at about 250 pounds. He'll be back next year. There's not a whole lot returning for this Mountain View team a year from now, but Hunter Meeks will be at the head of that. Right tackle and defensive and or tackle, depending on the play for Mountain View. 2nd down and 4 at the 25. Shotgun form, Hatch the quarterback, keeps it up the middle on the fake to Ruby. Close to the 30, about a yard shy of the first down, brings up 3rd and 1.
52, Bridger Harris on the stop.
Marked right at the 30. 3rd down and 1 to go. Lopez enters into the huddle. That big Dakota Lopez and in for Dallas Lopez. And he lines up on the right side alone as a receiver. 2 backs set in the gun. Fullback is Hatch. Man in motion is Dawson Hatch. Hand off to Ruby. Brecken Barnes stuffs him up in the backfield at the 28. 4th down and 3.
Combined to make the stop.
Trevor Condis also in on the tackle, according to the announcer there. Saw him come sweeping in late. Under 8 to play for 24-7 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. 4th down, 3 to go. And a punt for Dawson Hatch. 1 man back to return is Braden Walk. Line drive kick from Hatch, touches down at the 38, continues to roll to the 25. And a couple rolls more to about the 24 for Mountain View to take over. 76 yards from Paydirt, up 24-7 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. Buffalo defense comes back out after a stalled drive, looking to stop Mountain View. They scored 62 yards out last time. This one from about 76.
Mountain View will start from its own 24-yard
Shotgun form upcoming for the Buffs. That's what they run in exclusively with Walk in the gun. Madsen to the left. Run a lot of split back today, though, as well, with Blue Mel in front of Madsen, either as a lead blocker or a runner himself. Handoff up the middle to Madsen. Races through a couple of holes up to the 32. Got some space from Harris and Medler.
30-yard line. 33, scope guard makes the stop.
7-12 in the third. Blue Mel and Knutson in a 4-receiver setter onto the near side. Mountain View moving from right to left. Over on the far, it's Schofield and Sweeney.
Gain of 8, it'll be 2nd and 2.
Second down, 2 yards to go after the gain of 8. Screen pass, low but completed to Sweeney. He's brought down in the backfield, though, for a loss inside the 30.
Completed the backfield to Trevor Sweeney.
Line of scrimmage was at the 32 and brought down at about the 29. Loss of 3. Hunter Pope on the tackle. Third down and 5 to go.
Will be back to the 29. Third down.
See what Mountain View dials up here. They've got trips to the left in Blue Mel, Sweeney, and Knutson. Blue Mel in the slots receiver position. I have to say, look for Blue Mel. They've got Schofield out alone on the right side. If it was first down, I'd say look to the right on a deep pattern for him. Walk does go to Schofield. A quick hitter on a comeback. And
Walks pass complete.
button hook route works for a first down to Schofield at the 37. Make the 38. First down and 10 for the Buffs on a completion for 9 yards. Walk on the day, that's his 8th completion. 8 of 15. First and 10 on the 34. Walk has time to throw. Airs it out into double coverage. Schofield jumps up and bats it down but can't make the catch. Lopez on the breakup. 6:03 left in the third quarter. Second down and 10 from the 38. Mountain View with a 17-point lead, driving, trying to increase it. They lost 43-18 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board last year in 2018 to this same Buffalo team. They had 7 turnovers in that game. Mountain View has 2 turnovers in this game, although Buffalo does as well. And the Mountain View Buffs have the only points off turnovers. Second down and 10 at the 38. Walk fakes it to Madsen. Now keeps it himself out to the sideline. Gets a block from Sweeney and to the 40. That's a long way to go. A sideline to sideline for a 2-yard pickup. No flags down on the field. Looks like everything will stand as is to the 40. Third down and 8 to go on a 2-yard pickup by Walk.
Gain of a couple on the play.
Braden Walk has not been the rusher that we've seen throughout the year today. He's not been finding the space. Buffalo's not been allowing that. They've had trouble stopping Madsen, but Walk's been a different story. He's still in the negatives. 3 carries officially for -9 yards. 82 carries and 735 yards and 19 touchdowns. Braden Walk came into this championship game on the season with 3 receivers to the right, empty back, 5 receivers set and all. Madsen in motion. Takes the sweep end around. Looks like a halfback pass. Madsen has time. Walk out to the left side. It's the old quarterback to the old receiver and to the 35 completed. Kimball Madsen to Braden Walk. I've been waiting all year to say Kimball Madsen completes to Walk, and we get it with 5:05 left in the third period in the state championship game. Takes it all the way down to the 35-yard line. Got 27 on the play. First down and 10. Madsen was set up as a slot receiver in the left, came into motion as a halfback, took the pitch right side. Now a direct snap to Madsen on first and 10. Picks up a couple to the right. 25-yard completion officially. 24-7 the score on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. Second down and 7. Marked at the 33.
7 yards to go.
Madsen threw for about 1,000 yards last year. Walk was the recipient of many of those receptions. 4 receivers, single back shotgun. Quarterback keeper for Walk to the 30, 25. Still on his feet. Carrying a man to the 21.
Walk will keep for the first down near the 21-yard line.
Looked like Skovgaard on the tackle there, who grabbed the back of Walk and held on to the shoulder pads. 4:16 and ticking away, 24-7. Another first down run for Walk, down to the 21. Rush of 11 on the play. Trips to the right. First down 10. Roll out right side. Walk keeps it to the 20, 15. Split the field into the upended at the 11 by Lopez.
Stop short of the 10-yard
Or
line.
Ruby.
Rowan Ruby makes the tackle.
Rowan Ruby on the tackle, and he sent Walk horizontal. Still enough for a first down, though. 10-yard pickup for Braden.
First down, Mountain View.
Make it 11 as it's all the way down to the 10.
Bison 10.
Inside the red zone one more time. Mountain View looking to increase the lead from 17 to 20 or 24. Trips right side. Walk the gun with Madsen to the left. Blue Mel on the left side alone. Motion man is Knutson. They run the counter play, fake to Knutson, give it to Madsen. He takes it for a yard. We'll have the Jet Piper and Farmers Insurance fourth quarter coming up. Mountain View on top by 3 scores. The first of 5 state championships over the next day and a half, I suppose. Here at War Memorial Stadium. Marked at the 9. Second down and 9. The first down marker is in between the 1 and the pylon on the far sideline. 180 seconds to go in the third period. 4 receivers. Shotgun for Walk. Hands off to Madsen. And he's stopped in the backfield. Anthony Graves held on to Madsen about the time he got control of the ball. Loses a couple back to the 13. Make it third down and 12. 2.5 minutes to play in the third period. If nothing else, the yardage and time of possession is adding up for Mountain View and keeping that Buffalo offense off the field. Time of possession up to 17 minutes to 11. Mountain View leading over Buffalo. Third and 12. 4 receivers. Blue Mel on the left on the line. Madsen to the left of Walk in the gun. Blitz up the middle. Walk has time to throw still. And intended for Schofield at the edge of the end zone. Knocked away by Lopez. And fourth down upcoming. T. Picola makes his way back out. Mountain View opted to go for it at the 3 on their second possession, needing 2 yards. It was a turnover on downs when they could have gotten the first points on the board, and since then in these situations, now with a lead, they're opting to get the points and take them where they can. Picola just hit from 30. Last drive now setting up from about 29. Hold by Walk is good, but the kick by Picola is a little bit to the right. Shanked it, and it's no good. 24-7. The score stays on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. Mountain View leads Buffalo. Ball on the 19 for Buffalo when we return on a First Bank presentation on Mountain View Football on MyLocalRadio.com.
When you have any mechanical problems, always think of Reese Auto Service in Lyman first. Doug and the mechanics at Reese Auto Service work on everything from your lawnmower and snowblower to cars, trucks, farm and ranch equipment, and semis. You can also get tires for anything you need at Reese Auto Service. Always visit Reese first. You'll get great pricing and quality-friendly service. Reese Auto Service, 541 Highway 413, Lyman.
Well, over that break, completion to Rowan Ruby from Moon. Moves the ball from the, sitting at about the 12 to the 37. Pickup of 25 on the completion. First big play for Buffalo on the offense that we've seen in quite some time. 24-7 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. 3 receivers to the left in the gun, marked at the 37. Moon fakes the bubble screen out to the left, hands off to Ruby up the middle. He works his way somehow through a pile of Barnes and Gross and gets across the 40 to the 41. 128 left in the third. Second down and 6 after a 4-yard pickup by Ruby. Ball set on the right hash mark.
Second and 6.
Gun again with 3 to the left. Calvin Rule alone on the right, guarded by Sweeney. Pass play for Moon, 5-step drop. Drops back, throws it up the middle of the field, over the head of his intended receiver and into the hands of Ashton Schofield, who loses his helmet in the process. But a flag comes in and negates the play, it looks like, from the reaction of Schofield. The play will not stand. Schofield lost his helmet and lost the interception.
Pass interference. Defense.
And Schofield called for the pass interference. Moves it forward 15 yards for Buffalo in an automatic first down. .102 remaining in the third period. Takes the ball across to the 46. 4 yards past the 50. Two back set, two to the left, one to the right. Moon, the quarterback, has Hatch come in motion. Fakes the handoff, sweep end around, has a post pattern, up the middle, to Rule. That was Lopez, rather. Overthrows him. Moon hesitated on the pass at about the 30 as Sweeney was in front of Lopez, and probably would have been an interception had he tossed it then. He pump faked and then tossed it to the right shoulder of Lopez as he was looking over his left. So the ball sailed over and away. Maybe even a throwaway and lived to play another one. 57 seconds left in the third period. Ball on the 46. 2nd and 10. 4 receivers in the gun. Hatch again in motion under center. Takes the sweep end around. He's got Barnes. Now pitches it out to Ruby to the 40. He lowers his shoulder and works forward close to the first down. About the 35. Marked at the 36. Third down and 2. 37 seconds to go. Perhaps the last play of the third period. Buffalo trying to drive, moving from left to right. Down by 17 points in the 2A state title. To the right, a handoff. Ruby up the middle. He's got a first down. Barnes works his way back, but not before Ruby gets the 2 yards necessary. A pickup of 3 by Rowan Ruby with 18 seconds left in the third quarter. First down, Buffalo. Working closer to the red zone. 11 yards out of the 20 now at the 31. Clock starts after the first down to 14 seconds when they come to the line of scrimmage. First down and 10 on the 31. Moon works around right side. Flag comes in, tosses it away down to his sideline. 2 flags. No, that's just 1 flag and 1 guy wearing a yellow shoe on the play. Flag came in before the throw, as there was no receiver in the area. The penalty was before that. Looks like I'm seeing holding signaled against Buffalo. Here's the call.
Hold. Offense.
It is a holding call with 2 seconds left in the third quarter. 24-7. Buffalo trails. Now Coach Hammond has a discussion with his offense. Dawson Hatch was the player he was talking to. He enters the huddle. Mason Moon in there as well, so expect him to be the quarterback.
Penalty will take the ball to the 42.
Moves the ball back to the 42. First down and 21. 2 seconds left in the third period. 4 receivers, shotgun set. Ruby to the right of Mason. Awaiting the snap. Mason backs up. 5-step drop. Heave-ho up the field into double coverage. Dawson Hatch overthrown. Trevor Sweeney, the closest man in the area. And that's the end of the third quarter. The Jet Piper Farmers Insurance fourth. When we return, Mountain View 24 and 7 points for Buffalo. This is a First Bank presentation of the 2A state championship on MyLocalRadio.com and KNY and 99.1 FM.
We hope you're enjoying this MyLocalRadio.com exclusive broadcast of Bridger Valley Sports. We love being able to travel around the state to bring the action on the field or court back to you watching at home. Let's face it, doing all of this would not be possible without all of our great sponsors. We appreciate the support the following businesses and individuals show to both Mountain View and Lyman Sports. Dr. McKay Frankum, quality dental care at affordable prices. Yeager's Auto Body. For nearly 45 years, Yeager's Auto Body in Green River has been at the top of the game in auto repair. West Star Printing in Evanston. No matter what you want printed, Westar is where you want it done. Reese Auto Service. From lawnmowers and snowblowers to cars, trucks, and semis, Reese Auto Service in Lyman does it all. Trona Valley Credit Union, member NCUA. Plains Tire in Evanston, Wyoming's oldest and largest tire dealer. Thank you to all of our Bridger Valley sports sponsors.
Fourth quarter begins on the Jet Piper and Farmers Insurance. Fourth quarter, 24-7 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. Buffalo with the ball, trying to start and continue to drive here. Down by 17 points.
Any individual streaming of this game is
they have the ball at the 42. Defense for Mountain View comes back out. Quick check-in with Duke Dans. Fourth quarter starts. What are you seeing from Buffalo? Do they have what it takes to get it into the end zone here?
Well, I can tell you right now, Coach Walk is not happy with the lead. Of course, he wants more out of his defense right now with a big stop.
That's Duke Dans checking in. Rowan Ruby out of the break, gets it across the 40 and to the 39. Second down becomes third down and long. They need to get to the 21, Buffalo does. Thank you to Duke Dans doing sideline detail throughout this contest in the 2A state title. 11:40, 20 seconds have ticked off as we welcome you into the Jeff Piper and Farmers Insurance fourth quarter. The number to call for Jeff Piper, 307-789-5489. Your local Farmers agent serving the Bridger Valley, Evanston, and all of southwest Wyoming. He'll break it down for you and show you how much you can save by bundling your home life and auto insurance with Farmers. It's a timeout taken on the field. Buffalo with the ball across the 40, needing a ton of yardage, about 18 to go for a first down. We'll come back on a First Bank presentation of Mountain View football on MyLocalRadio.com.
Making an informed decision when you choose coverage for you, your family, and your home is one of the most important decisions you'll ever make. Jeff Piper, Farmers Insurance agent in Evanston, is here to help you get the coverage that is right for you at the best value. Find out how much you can save each month when you combine home, auto, and life insurance. Call Jeff Piper with Farmers Insurance at 307-789-5489 or stop in at 341 Front Street in Evanston. Jeff Piper, Farmers Insurance.
Fourth quarter brought to you by Jeff Piper Farmers Insurance. A timeout taken by Buffalo. They have the ball just across the 40, not quite yet to the 39. It's in that little space in between. The first down marker is at the 21. So make it third down and 19 to go. 11:28. The time left on the clock for Buffalo to get 17 points to try to tie. Another touchdown to win. Back to drop, pocket collapses. It's a screenplay completed to Ruby. He works it forward to the 30. Taken down by Bridger Harris. Harris was traveling along behind Ruby on that carry. Caught him up from behind. Make it third down and 9 to go. A fourth down and 9 to go, rather, at the 30, needing to get to the 21.
At the 30-yard line, fourth down, 9 yards to go.
Time of possession is 16:57 for Buffalo, just under 20 minutes for Mountain View. Now back to the offense, to the line of scrimmage. Two receivers to the left. Handoff faked to Lopez as he's hit. Throws it to Lopez close to the end zone. Hatch, rather, from Moon. Incomplete. Turnover on downs. Mason Moon holding his right arm as he comes out and swang from side to side. Looks like he's all right. But a turnover on downs for Buffalo. On the replay there, see Dawson Hatch in double coverage, having the ball just kind of pop out of his hands.
First and 10. Buffalo's take over.
First and 10.
Downs at their own 30.
For Mountain View now on the 30. They've been a running team all year long. So why wouldn't they come out and run it here again? Handoff to Madsen. Up the middle. Breaks through the first line of defense. Out to the 40. Pickup of 11 or 12 on the run. Straight up the gut. Kimball Madsen has been your offensive MVP on the stats today.
First down.
3 touchdowns. And over 10 yards per carry.
Picks up another 12 there. Total for Madsen up to 203. Four receivers. Walk behind, takes the gun snap. Pitch out left side to Madsen, to the 45, 50, across the 50, to the 45 on the other side, and out of bounds on the left sideline. Under 10 to play.
Carries off the left side, brought down by Swanston.
Swanston on the takedown.
Ball will be spotted at the 35-yard line. First and 10.
And the spot comes down to the 45. First and 10. Time ticking away for Mountain View. They're waiting for that clock to resume here. It's stuck at 9:57 after that first down, and it won't start until the snap because it went out of bounds. For the Buffs, they're probably thinking keep it inbounds as much as you can. Got two dueling cheerleaders on either side. Mountain View side looking fired up. Buffalo standing hands on their hips right now. Walk back to throw. Single coverage for Blue Mel. He fights for it out at the 10. Had hands on it. Dropped it. Now he's on the ground. On his backside, hands in the air, looking to the far sideline official, looking for a call. No flag comes in. Make it 3rd down and 10. I think it's 2nd and 10, actually. 2nd and 10 now. Bridger Harris calling for his fans to stay quiet out there. There was some Mountain View booing come in after the no call there. Saying it's all right, we got this. 9:50 left, 24-7. Three receivers to the right, Blue Mel alone on the left. Madsen to the right of the gun. 4-2 front from Buffalo, handoff Madsen. Ooh, he's got a big hole up the left sideline. Rips off one man, that was Hatch. Still on his feet to the 25. Squirts forward through three guys. Dawson Hatch in on the tackle, finally to the 24. But another big gain for Madsen and a first down.
Tackled by 55, Nathan Swanston.
Looking on the replay there, Madsen had big holes broken open from Gross and Medler. Just one receiver on that far side too. The overload to the right had the secondary starting the opposite side of where Madsen ended up heading. Same formation here, trips to the right. 4-2 front. Quarterback keeper from Walk. Does a stutter step up the middle. Juts forward to the 15. 2nd down and 1 upcoming, a 9-yard pickup by Walk. 1:52. Not quite 2 hours into this contest. We're down to the final 9 minutes of the 2A state championship. As sophomores, this crew led by Walk, Madsen, Gross, Barnes, Blue Mel, won it over Glen Rock. Upset last year, 43-18 on 7 turnovers against Buffalo. Leading 24-7 now with 8:40 left in the Jet Piper Farmers Insurance 4th. Keeper for Walk. He's got the first down on a couple-yard quarterback keeper game.
Walk carries the football. Hiram Hatch on the tackle.
Hiram Hatch on the tackle. 8:34, the clock stops. Mountain View listed with just 9 first downs today. 17 for Buffalo. They've had some shorter fields to work with at times. They've had big plays. 58 yards and 60 yards by Madsen on the ground. They've had gains of 25 and 30 plus through the air of Walk to Blue Mel and Schofield. First down and 10 on the 12. Handoff Madsen. He works his way back to the line of scrimmage as he was hit in the backfield. Looked like by Hunter Pope there.
With the direct step. Brought down by 77, Hunter Pope.
Madsen up to 237 yards. Schofield, the leading receiver, at 67 on 3 catches. Blue Mel with 3 as well. Kimball Madsen, 2 catches, and 1 for Braden Walk of 25 yards from Kimball Madsen. It was pretty clear to see where that ball was going when they did run that halfback pass. Of course, it'd be to Braden Walk, a very fine receiver who's been playing a all-state level quarterback this year. Direct snap again to Madsen. Has the lead block of Walk to the 10 is all he can get back to.
Madsen carries again.
Nate Swanston on the takedown.
By Hiram Hatch.
7-13 in the Jet Piper Farmers Insurance 4th.
Gain is to the 9-yard line. 3rd down. And 7 yards
Make
to
it
go.
3rd down and 7 on the 9. Jeff Piper knows the insurance game. Give him a call at 307-789-5489. 4 receivers, shotgun, Madsen. Split out a little bit wide of the gun in the backfield. Motion man, Knudsen. Counter play, Madsen drops it. Falls down at the 10. Loss of 1 on the play. 3rd down and 8. From the 10. Need to get it to the 2 for a first down, end zone. With 6.5 minutes. Would just about be the icing on the cake in this contest.
4th down for the Buffaloes. It'll be 4th and 8.
4th down and 8. They're not going to go for it. Instead, it's Tipicola out. This one from 27 yards.
28-yard attempt.
For a field goal. Walks sitting down, awaiting the snap. And Buffalo was signaling for early movement on the line. Nothing called, and instead Mountain View takes a timeout. We'll keep it right here in the Jeff Piper Farmers Insurance 4th quarter. Mountain View presumably coming back with a field goal attempt after this. (24-7) the score on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. And both teams in the huddle now. Again, ball set at the 10-yard line. Get a quick check in now with Duke. Dance down on the sidelines. Dukes, what's happening?
Well, you can tell Mountain View, both players, coaches, and the faithful here in the stands are starting to smell what could be happening in 6 minutes of game time. A state title for the undefeated Mountain View Buffaloes. Coach Block was really wanting to get his team in the end zone there for an exclamation point to really put this one out of reach with just a field goal already in this half. But Jake, the excitement building here on Mountain View's sideline with just 6 minutes to go and a chance to put up 3 more.
That's Duke Dance on the sideline. Now as Mountain View comes back out after the timeout, they are looking to do exactly what Duke just said Coach Walk wants to. They're going for it. 4th down and 8 to go. Need to get it down to the 2. Walk looks out right side to Madsen. Picked off and a lot of room to run to the 30. 40 has Walk and Madsen to beat. It's Lopez on the interception down to the 45. Ripped down to the ground violently by Kimball Madsen out of frustration. The interception by Dallas Lopez. Little Mighty Mouse at 5'3", 150 pounds. He plays defensive tackle. He'll split out wide and defend the pass. And you saw there, he nearly got a pick 6. Didn't quite have the speed to get past 2 All-Staters and Madsen and Walk. But here, instead of now icing on the cake touchdown, we may have a game. There's not much time left. Buffalo needs to work quickly. 5:50 left in the 4th. Ball spotted on the 47. Mason Moon takes the snap, completed out to Hatch. It was a screenplay to the 40. Pickup of 2 yards on the carry.
Pass complete to Dawson Hatch.
5:40. Working down. Hatch a little bit slow to get up. Limping a little bit, and they don't have much time. Buffalo does not. To meander around. It's no huddle time. Down by 17 points. That's 3 scores. Trips to the left. Mountain View a little slow getting set defensively. Pitch out left side to Ruby. He cuts back in at the 35 down to the 33. Should be a first down. He's brought down at about the 32. Clock stopped at 5:16. Brigham Blue Mel on the tackle. It was single man-on-man tackle coverage. It was called for Bridger Harris, but that sure looked like got a tattoo on the left arm. That'd be Brigham Blue Mel. 1st and 10 at the 32. Screen pass fake. Handoff to Ruby on the delay. He picks up 2.
Ruby carries again.
2nd down and 8. Down to 5:05 in the Jeff Piper Farmers Insurance 4th quarter.
2nd and 8.
On the left hash mark at the 30. 2nd down and 8. Buffalo ball driving from right to left. Time for Moon to throw. He's letting it all develop. Now tosses it out right side into the hands of Lopez. Dakota Lopez completed at the 20 and inside and out of bounds. Did he get out of bounds? Looks like he just might have. Brigham Blue Mel was on the coverage there. And the split between Lopez and Blue Mel listed at 6'4", Dakota Lopez at 5'8". Had to toss the ball just in to the hands of Lopez, and he dropped it in. Moon did, just over the man of Blue Mel. No, did not get out of bounds. Clock's running again on the 20-yard line. 1st and 10. Sweep end around. It's Hatch with the ball. He hasn't been able to find any room on the sweeps today. At the 21, he's tackled down by Kimball Matson. Still looking for that space. Loss of 2 on the play. Down to 4.5 minutes. Spotted right at the 20. So just a loss of 1. Maybe a half yard. Again, set up on the left hash mark. Rule out as a receiver. Lopez making a late run out. They only had 10 men on the field. Trips to the right. Hatch at quarterback. Pitches to the left side. It's Ruby with space. 10, 5, into the end zone. He turns around and dances in, falling down to the ground. Touchdown, Buffalo. It's late, but the Bison are trying to roll a game into this contest after all. Jet Piper Farmers Insurance, 4th quarter, has 6 more points on the board for Buffalo. 24-13 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. Extra point upcoming. Taylor Swanston to kick.
Taylor Swanston.
Kick is up, line drive, and good. 4:03 to play. And Buffalo has just scored for a first time on the offense, as their previous touchdown was a special teams 91-yard return. 24-14, 4:03 left in the Jet Piper Farmers Insurance 4th quarter. Kickoff when we come back on a First Bank presentation of Mountain View Football on MyLocalRadio.com and KNY and 99.1 FM.
The best place to stay when you're in Casper, Wyoming is the Come On In Hotel and Suites. This beautiful log hotel offers 5 hot tubs, 1 pool, a fitness center, and fabulous indoor atrium. Offering jacuzzi and fireplace suites, the guest rooms are comfortable and relaxing. Plus, every stay includes a delicious extended continental breakfast. Whenever you're in Casper, stay at the best place. Come On In Hotel and Suites. Come on in today. Come On In Hotel and Suites, Casper.
24-14 on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. 4th quarter brought to you by Jet Piper Farmers Insurance, and 4:03 left to play. 24-14, again the score, a 10-point differential after the touchdown run of 20 yards by Rowan Ruby. Well, they needed 3 scores. They got 1, down to 2 now. An overloaded kickoff of the right side. Setup, they have a 6-4 setup, and it is an onside. Touches down at the 47 and dropped down. On by someone for Mountain View. Hands team, Brigham Blue Mel. Drop down on the kick. Mountain View football. Ball spotted at the 46. Well, that's the biggest space Rowan Ruby's really had to run with today. And he barely got in the end zone as well. Had to part the C's in the middle of 2 defenders coming in. Got tripped up and kind of spun around backwards, falling to the ground into the end zone. The background of the Tetons on the Cowboys end zone here at War Memorial. 4:03 left to play. 1st down and 10 at the 46. Handoff Madsen. Nowhere to go. Hiram Hatch at the point of contact, drives him backwards. 2nd down and 10.
Met by 3, Hiram Hatch.
Well, you need a stop. Buffalo has 2 timeouts left. Mountain View with 2 as well. Less consequential at that point as the Mountain View timeout total. 3:40 to play. Back to the line. Madsen split out wide. This is the formation they had on that last play where it resulted in an interception and a false start on Mountain View. Backs him up 5. Blue Mel came into motion on the, he was actually in the slot. He was on the far right, left side. As soon as he moved, the flag went up. Back him up 5 yards. 2nd down and 14. On that false start, clock stops at 3:26. So as much as anything, Buffalo without much room to work with here. They'll take anything they can get. Negative yardage, a stoppage of a clock. Both of them sound good to them. The clock now starts after the resetting. to 3:15 and ticking down. 4 receivers, 2 either way. Matson to the right of Walk. Snap comes in at 3:08, looking out to throw. Flushed out of the pocket by Pope. Out to the left sideline, tuck and run and get it out of bounds. Loses about 4 or 5 on the play.
With the pressure on the quarterback.
Just after 2 o'clock, the 3A state championship scheduled for 3, and then that's it. We'll have 3 state championships tomorrow, 6-man, 1A and 4A. Spotted at the 42, 3rd and 14 upcoming. Stop of the clock at 3:02. The 2A season of 2 undefeated teams coming down to this. Buffalo looking for one more chance. Mountain View looking for a first down. 3 receivers to the right in the gun. Walk rolls out right side. Has the defense pass protection of Matson. Completed to Schofield at the 48. Shy of a first down. Ball marked at the 49. May bring up 4th down and 5.
Steps out of bounds across
2:57 where the clock stops after Schofield steps out. And Mountain View has Kimball Matson back to punt for a second time today. The first was a fake. That was on the opening drive of this contest. 1 man back to return. And Buffalo not quite buying it. High snap just picked up by Matson. He does kick it away. It's not a great one. But touches down at the 20, moves back just a bit, and out of bounds at the 22. 2:49 to go.
22-yard line, 26 yards from the line of scrimmage.
And this ball spotted at the 22, so 78 yards to go for Buffalo. Their longest pass play today. Just trying to take a look at that. Longest pass play today from Moon of, don't see it up there. Hasn't been a lot, maybe 6 yards. Up the middle to Ruby. No gain, 2nd down and 10. Longest pass play of the day, 17 yards to Rowan Ruby. In all, Mason Moon 7 of 12 for 69 yards is all. Walk with 132 yards for Mountain View. No touchdowns, though, and 2 interceptions. 2nd and 10. Clock continues to roll at 2:30. Snap, belt high, up the middle. Hatch on a post route. It's into one hand. Did he catch it? No, ruled to touch the ground first. He tried to grab it out of the air, laid out as it was deflected away from the intended trajectory. See if we can see who that was. He laid out one hand and tried to wrap it in. The ball was knocked away by Jimmy Medler, I think. And now a penalty.
Pass is ruled incomplete.
Ball spotted at the 19. .222 to go. 2nd down, 12. They'll make it 13. Back to throw is Moon. Has Hatch come back, underthrown, and incomplete at the 18.
Moon's pass goes incomplete. Dawson Hatch,
So
the
3rd
intended receiver.
and 13. Make it 4th.
4th down.
It is 4th down and 13. Got to go for it here. Season's down to 2:18. Down by 2 scores still. With 2 timeouts. This is it. Just about. Mountain View can run sometime. Buffalo can stop it a couple of times with a first down. Now Hatch takes the pitch. Out on a wide receiver. On the pass. Triple coverage. Incomplete. Intended for Dakota Lopez. And a turnover on downs. Gives the ball back to Mountain View.
Bryson Walker makes the play.
Clock at 2:11. Now Moon handed off to Hatch, who rolled out to his right side for the halfback or wide receiver pass, whatever you want to call it. I think he was a wide receiver in that motion coming in. And a flag. We have pass interference. Well, the chains of move for Buffalo. Must have been a pass interference called on that triple coverage, so not over yet.
Penalty
34.
on the 34-yard line.
No call from the officials down low, just that it was on Mountain View, and it looks like it was 15 yard or so. Personal foul. Pass interference. 1st and 10 on the 34. Moon overthrows Rule. Rule was coming up on a slant up the middle. 3 more seconds, tick off. 2:08 on the clock. Buffalo comes back to the huddle. You got Dakota Lopez, Swanston taking the play in along with Moon. Break it. Ball spotted at the 34. 2nd down and 10. Their own 34, 64 yards. Look at 66 yards from the end zone. 9-step drop for Moon. He throws back and in and out of the hands of Blumel, intended for Swanston. Blumel just missed the interception.
Hatch, the intended receiver.
Looked like it must have been Hatch in there, number 3, not number 2. No, that was Swanston. It was number 2. Intended receiver. So 3rd and 10 on the 34. 2 minutes left. 2:02 to be exact in the Jet Piper Farmers Insurance 4th quarter. The state championship on the line here. 4-down territory for Buffalo. Pitch to the left, it's to Ruby. He works around a great block from Calvin Rule, but a flag comes up on the play. Knocked Bryson Walker down to the ground, and the flag right there is called against Rule on the block. Shot him right down to the ground. And take that run away for Ruby out to about the 40. Spotted the foul at the 33. Called a personal foul on the block. Not a block in the back, though. I think it was maybe a defenseless. I don't know if that's a high school thing. What's that call? What's that mean? What's that? Targeting. There we go. Thank you. I don't have all my officials' hand signals down as good as I should. I need to get one of those print-offs off. Targeting on that block. Back to the 18. 1:55. 3rd down and a mile. Need to get to the 44. Up the middle, has a man open. Completed at the 34. Looks like Hatch. And a lot of extracurriculars. Coach Hammond calling for the late hit or personal foul for unnecessary roughness on the tackle down, but nothing hits the floor. Clock continuing to move at 1:35. Mountain View 90 seconds away from a state title.
4th and 10 for the Bison.
4th down and 10. Back to Moon. He throws it up the middle. Into double coverage. Out of the hands intended for Swanston.
Pass goes incomplete.
And I don't see a flag anywhere. It's a turnover on downs.
Sweeney defending for Mountain View.
Kimball Matson puts both arms in the air, looks back to the hometown faithful, making the trip 4 hours down I-80. As a state title is just about there for Mountain View. Their 2nd in 3 years. The 3rd for Brent Walk. In his 8 seasons, they've been here 5 times. In victory formation. And a late man on, Trevor Condis. Welcome back into the game. Joins a little late. Into that victory formation. Walk takes a knee, gets pushed back a bit. Timeout taken by Buffalo. Referees separating some players following that kneel down. .117 where the clock has stopped. And a timeout taken, of course, by Buffalo. Here in the Jet Piper Farmers Insurance 4th quarter. We'll take it with them. Back in 30 seconds on a First Bank presentation of Buffs football on MyLocalRadio.com. 24 Mountain View, 14 Buffalo on the Benedict's Market and True Value Board.
No matter what you need to have printed, Westar Printing is the place you want to have it done. Calendars, letterhead, envelopes, brochures, books, posters, vinyl banners, business forms, announcements, wedding invitations, and business cards are just a few examples. You can also have your favorite family photos printed on canvas or placed into a personalized family photo calendar. You will want to do business with Westar Printing. Stop in today. Westar Printing, 243 7th Street in Evanston.
After the kneel down, Mountain View comes out on 2nd and 10. 3 receivers to the left side. Schofield on the right. Pitch out left to Madsen. Cuts up left of tackle. Down to the 32. A few yards down the field and a timeout taken by Buffalo. That's their last. 3rd down, Cup coming. Ball spotted at the 31. See if Mountain View heads back out. Now Coach Walk saying to his Buffalo players, just get away. There's a flag down in the field at the 31. Trying to keep his players separated from Buffalo. Well, there's no mistaking here. There's been bad blood fueling between these two teams a year in the making. Mountain View will get some extra yardage and a 1st down here. That seals the state title, it would seem. On that 1st down, Buffalo's out of timeouts, and there's 1:11 left. The players on the field reacting accordingly.
16-yard line, 1st and 10.
All the way down to the 16. So there it is, 1st and 10, 24-14. The score on the Benedict's Market and True Value board. After 43-18 a year ago, about a year and 5 days, we're here at War Memorial for Mountain View to be beaten by this Buffalo team. Knee taken by Braden Walk. 105. Loss of 1, of course. Won't matter about that. You got to start talking dynasty when you talk about this Mountain View team over the last decade. Their 3rd state title. 2nd in 3 years, 3 straight trips. They got 2 trips in a row back in 2013 and 2014.
2nd down.
Mountain View in the victory formation again. And the knee taken by Braden Walk. And win number 65 for Brent Walk brings title number 3 in his tenure to Mountain View and exercises the demons a year in the making against this Buffalo Bison team. Mountain View is your 2019 2A state champions. The clock ticks down to the final 10 seconds. The players for Mountain View already out on the field and celebrating. Buffalo getting consoled as they head back to the sideline. It was 1 second half kickoff return by Rowan Ruby and a 20-yard touchdown by Ruby in the 4th. That was all Buffaloes could muster on offense. 3 touchdowns in the 2nd quarter by Kimball Madsen, and a field goal from 29 yards out to seal it by Tianka Picola is your offensive output. And Mountain View again is your 2019 2A state champs, winning their 3rd in Brent Walk's history. We'll take a break, come back with post-game coverage next on a First Bank presentation of Mountain View football. State champions on MyLocalRadio.com.
Making an informed decision when you choose coverage for you, your family, and your home is one of the most important decisions you'll ever make. Jeff Piper, Farmers Insurance agent in Evanston, is here to help you get the coverage that is right for you at the best value. Find out how much you can save each month when you combine home, auto, and life insurance. Call Jeff Piper with Farmers Insurance at 307-789-5489 or stop in at 341 Front Street in Evanston. Jeff Piper, Farmers Insurance. If you want your truck to really catch the eye, have the professionals at Plains Tire in Evanston install a custom lift kit with new tires and wheels. We've got a huge selection to choose from, so no matter what your style is, we've got the tires and wheels to make you smile. The way your truck looks reflects on you. Get the reflection you want with a lift kit, new tires, and wheels from Plains Tire in Evanston, the tire professionals. 157 Bear River Drive. Stop in today.
Hello, this is Dr. McKay Frankham. As a dentist in Evanston for over 20 years now, my mission has always been to provide quality dental care for people of all ages at reasonable prices. I'm a detail-oriented person, and it's important to me to stay current on new dental procedures and protocols that can help my patients have the best experience and have the best results. Over the years, I've also worked to keep my overhead low so that I can pass those savings on to my patients. I believe everyone deserves quality dental care. Please call us today at 307-789-8910.
We hope you're enjoying this MyLocalRadio.com exclusive broadcast of Bridger Valley Sports. We love being able to travel around the state to bring the action on the field or court back to you watching at home. Let's face it, Doing all this would not be possible without all of our great sponsors. We appreciate the support the following businesses and individuals show to both Mountain View and Lyman Sports. Bradshaw's Glass Towing and Fitness. Whatever it is you need, Bradshaw's can probably help. The Come On In of Casper. When it comes time to cheer on your Buffs or Eagles at state, the Come On In is your best bet for a great night's stay. Auto Farm Chevrolet in Evanston. General Manager Dennis Lynch invites you to come and experience a community-driven dealership. Evanston Regional Hospital. Quality health care close to home. Bridger Valley Motor. Got a check engine light blinking? Don't guess at what the problem is. Take it to Slim at Bridger Valley Motor in Lyman. And Achieve Sports Medicine and Physical Therapy. No excuses, just results. Thank you to all of our Bridger Valley sports sponsors.
In Rich County, we know that our children are our future. Helping our kids grow into kind, productive adults is a community effort. This is Rolene Kennedy, Auto Farm Chevrolet's Rich County representative, serving my neighbors for more than 20 years. My kids are Rich High School graduates. When you need a vehicle, come and see me, new or pre-owned. I'll always treat you with respect and honesty, the Rich County way. Auto Farm Chevrolet, we're a community-driven dealer. Go Rebels!
Your mobility affects every aspect of your life. When you suffer from an injury that decreases your mobility, or maybe you're just noticing that you're having a harder time balancing and your flexibility isn't what it used to be, call Randy Christofferson at Achieve Sports Medicine. Randy will work with you to improve your overall health by reducing pain and improving mobility. Schedule your appointment today by calling 307-747-4627. Achieve Sports Medicine in Lyman. No excuses, just results.
Mountain View is your 2019 2A state champions, 24-14, the final on the Benedict's Market and True Value Board. They get their second in 3 years and 3 straight appearances, 43-18 last year. That was the starting point for this team. And after that, it was go back to work, get better every single day, play by play, week by week. However, you knew Buffalo was in the back of their minds all season long, and they've been looking forward to that this whole time, and they get that team, and come away victorious, exercising those demons of a year ago, 24-14. Dr. McKay Frankham, precision play of the game, goes to Kimball Matson with that 58-yard touchdown run back in the second quarter, opened up the scoring early on. It was like 11 minutes and 16 seconds when he took it down. It took about 25 seconds for that play to work, though, because Matson had to break tackle after tackle after tackle. It just did that, a man possessed and determined to bring home another state championship. Mountain View down on the field, doing one more set of Buff Jacks. At the center where the fans have joined them, they're getting set for the trophy presentation as it's walked out to the middle of the field. Now one more time, mention through these guys, that starting lineup for the offense: Hunter Gross, Jimmy Medler, Bridger Harris, Brecken Barnes, Hunter Meeks on the line, helping out and opening that space for Matson to go for 244 yards, 3 touchdowns on 25 carries. His final yard per carry average on the day, 9.8, just ahead of his 8.9 on the season. Finished with 3 touchdowns, 22 on the season. And then the receivers, Brigham Blumel, Ashton Schofield, Trevor Sweeney, and Caleb Knutson, when they were called upon, picked up a couple of big plays. Brigham Blumel and Schofield on some deeper plays, 30 yards and 25-yard pickups. Schofield finishes 4 catches, 77 yards, 3 catches for 41 for Brigham Blumel. Kimball Matson had 2 receptions for 14, and Braden Walk, the quarterback, with 1 reception on a halfback pass for 25 yards completed by Kimball Matson, the guy who was playing a lot of quarterback last year in the state title and the 2 years before that. And then, of course, we should mention Kimball Matson, of course, too, the running back, now onto the defense side. Mostly the same guys. See if we got anyone out there. Bridger Harris, I think I mentioned him, and Meeks, Barnes, Gross on the line. Medler and Matson at the linebacking position. Safeties, Blumel, Knutson, and Schofield, and Braden Walk and Trevor Sweeney. Yeah, same 11 all around. They returned 9 starters from a year ago, and they come back 11-0. They've won 21 of their last 22. And Mountain View, you can say it, it's a dynasty. They'll return not that much for next year, but they will return some. And they'll return Brent Walk, the head coach who's led them now to 5 state title appearances and 3 victories along the way. Losses in 2013 and 2018. Wins 2014, 2017, and 2019. Again, that Dr. McKay Frankham precision play of the game goes to Kimball Madsen. Appreciate Dr. McKay Frankham bringing you precision plays of the game in all sports for the Bridge Valley all year long. We'll take another break here in the post-game, come back, run through some drives of the game and how exactly it all worked out here in the state championship. Mountain View defeats Buffalo 24-14, the final on the Benedict's Market and True Value Board. This is a First Bank presentation of Buffs football on MyLocalRadio.com.
Sometimes getting the whole family scheduled for a dental appointment is hard. Different days, different times, and then how do you pay for it all? These problems have been solved by Black's Fork Dental in Mountain View because we serve patients of all ages. It's easy to schedule the whole family on the same day, so you just make one trip. We accept most insurances, and if you don't have insurance, we offer an in-house discount so the whole family can have a healthy smile. Don't wait. Call today. Black's Fork Dental in Mountain View, 307-782-3630.
24-14, Mountain View wins the 2019 2A state championship. We ran through the Mountain View stats. Now go through Buffalo. 28 carries for Rowan Ruby, 108 yards, a touchdown, that a 20-yard gain, and a 3.9 average. Passing, Mason Moon went 8 for 18 with 85 yards, a long of 17. Receiving, Dakota Lopez led the way with 3 catches for 35 yards, followed by Rowan Ruby, 3 catches for 34, and Dawson Hatch, 3 catches for 24 yards. Dawson Hatch was in as a passer at times, as they run the 2-quarterback system a little bit. Threw 1 for 1, completed 1 pass for 8 yards, and ran for -1 the net in the final on 9 attempts. Couldn't get him any space on the day, which he came in with almost 600 yards of offense on the ground throughout the season. Kick returns, of course, the big one by Rowan Ruby goes 91 yards for the score. So here's how the scoring went. It was a stalemate through the first quarter as both teams turned the ball over, and there was turnover on down after turnover on downs. Mountain View was actually stopped from 3 yards out to end up going for it on 4th down on 4th and 4 from the 6-yard line and would be held outside for Buffalo to take over. The first touchdown of the game came on that 58-yard run by Kimball Madsen, where he broke about 4 or 5 tackles along the way, including 2 at about the same time at about the 30-yard line on the sideline. Stiff-armed one and then just busted through another, refused to go down to the ground. 7-0 was the score at that point. A minute and 2 seconds later, Kimball Madsen scored from 3 yards out to make it 14-0, and then he had a 60-yard run with 1:59 remaining in the second quarter to make it 21-0 at the half. Rowan Ruby returned the opening kickoff of the third quarter. 91 yards for a touchdown. That was Buffalo's first score of the game to make it 21-7. Tianka Picola with 9:28 remaining in the third hit it from between 29 and 30 yards to make it 24-7. And then a field goal was missed by Picola at 2:06 remaining in the third quarter from 29 yards out. That would have made it 27-7. So the score stayed at 24-7 until 4:03 when Rowan Ruby took it from 20 yards out into the end zone, splitting the gap of a couple of Mountain View defenders into the end zone for the final score of 24-14. A turnover on downs for Mountain View ended it, followed by a, I think, unnecessary roughness penalty that gave him the first down, as it would have been one way or another. Mountain View taking a knee and then another knee all the way down. 24-14, your final score on the Benedict's Market and True Value Board in Mountain View is your state titleist for 2019. 2 championships in 3 years. Enjoy it, Mountain View. You've deserved it. 24-14. And that's it for me, Jake Hibbard, signing off one more time on the fall season on MyLocalRadio.com. We'll see you for basketball.
The preceding has been a wholly owned production of MyLocalRadio.com and Cook Brothers Broadcasting, no portion of which may be used or rebroadcast without the express written consent of Old West Media. Today's executive producer is Val Cook. We appreciate you tuning in to this MyLocalRadio.com exclusive of Lyman Eagles Athletics. We would like to take a moment to thank all of our sponsors and partners who make this all possible. And of course, thank you for tuning in. Check out our...
Just a second there. That can't be right. The wrong outro somehow got put in there, and we can't end the season like that with that wrong one, so just give me a second here to pull that back up. Not sure. I think with all the football games and volleyball games over the last few weeks that we've had just stuff getting thrown around and changed around, so just give me a second. We got to end that on the right note there as we get that going. Again, 24-14, the final on the Benedict's Market and True Value Board. Mountain View, the 2019 state title winners. And maybe we can get it going. Maybe I can't. Maybe it's just not flat out there. I'm not sure what happened on that outro, but I guess we'll just send it back to music then. Thank you all for listening through the season. This is Mountain View Football, and we'll see you in the fall for basketball.